The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Are the Jets and the Steelers really about to swap quarterbacks? The latest on Aaron Rodgers and how it directly impacts the Jets in 2025. Ryan Sampson from the New York Post will join us to break things down. It is the Jake Asman Show. Happy Friday. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, here on a Friday, show number 2 on the day. Reminder to get your tickets to our draft party. If you haven't, we'll be hanging out at Clinton Hall starting at 7 p.m. all throughout the first round of the draft on April 24th. Get your ticket. It includes a free drink. It also includes a raffle entry into our awesome Jet merch raffle that night. We're going to be giving away a signed Sauce Gardner jersey, signed Joe Klecko jersey, signed Nick Mangold jersey, and a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey. So get your tickets before we sell out Clinton Hall draft night on April 24th. Joining us right now to talk all things Jets, is a good friend of the show. He's the co-host of the Gangs All Here podcast with the New York Post. He is Ryan Sampson, and he joins us now. Ryan, happy Friday. Welcome back.
Happy Friday, Jake. How are you, man?
I'm hanging in, dude. I really am. I've been following this Aaron Rodgers saga, and for the first time in what seems like that holding pattern we were in, we actually have real news. He met with the Steelers today, or maybe as we're recording right now, he's still there meeting with them, but Tomlin's involved, the ownership level's involved, and it feels like at this point, if Aaron Rodgers plays football, he's going to be playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Is that your read on the situation?
It makes the most sense, right? I mean, I'll tell you one thing, Jake. I don't miss this whole saga and the drama of waiting for Aaron Rodgers at all. I don't miss this at all. Don't miss the drama off the field. Where is he going to go? Is he going to play? Is he going to retire? I'm happy to not be part of that anymore. As a Jets fan, truly, it just takes a huge weight off your shoulders, in my opinion, having to figure out what the hell this guy's thinking and what he wants to do. But yeah, I mean, it makes most sense that the Steelers are a much better situation and they're more prepared to win, and it's a better culture for him to step into compared to if you want to put with the Giants. The Giants are a hot mess, just like the Jets are. I mean, they have a GM and a head coach that are desperate to win football games, and probably a roster that's not that good. And I don't think it makes really total sense for Aaron Rodgers to go to New York and stay in New York and play with the Giants. It just, the Steelers make sense. They have, DK Metcalf and George Pickens, Tyler, Najee Harris he's gone, but their offensive line is bleh. I don't like Arthur Smith, so I don't know how he jives with Aaron Rodgers. So that's interesting to me. But overall, it makes sense. The Steelers make a lot of sense for Aaron Rodgers if he wants to continue to play.
100%, because, they have a built-in insurance policy, to quote Ian O'Connor during my radio hit with him yesterday on ESPN New York. That's Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season, and Rodgers goes to a really good infrastructure in place. I'd argue the Jets were probably the worst coach team in football a season ago. And going from that to Mike Tomlin, if Rodgers could build off of, the end of last year when he seemingly was healthy, year 2 removed from the Achilles, I think he'll play well. From a Jet perspective, Ryan, I would be stunned if we don't get Rodgers at the Jets Monday Night Football week 1. If not Monday night, maybe it's in Sunday night. But that game, it's either in prime time or it's like the standalone late window game on either Fox or CBS. There's no way that game is not going to be completely magnified early in the season because we don't know how good the Jets are going to be. So if you're going to put them in prime time, you got to do it early. Same thing with Rodgers, though. You don't have any guarantees he's going to be healthy if you wait. I would be shocked if that game is not prime time to begin the year. It just makes too much sense if you're the NFL schedule makers.
My question to you, Jake, is would it be in New York or would it be at Pittsburgh?
So Pittsburgh comes to the Jets.
Pittsburgh comes to the Jets. Okay, so that's where I wasn't sure if we knew the home and away part of it, but yeah, it'll happen. You know it'll happen. He'll talk to Joe Buck. He'll talk to Troy Aikman. He'll be ready to go Monday Night Football. It'll be really special to go back out there. You know, the Jets fans are they got a special place in my heart. Those guys were great. Those people were great to me. I got nothing but love for the Jets and the Jets.
And then he's going to throw 4 touchdowns and rip through our defense.
I don't know about that.
Prepare yourself. I'm telling you, this is how this goes. This is life as a Jet fan. We're going to pretend like it's not going to happen, but we all know how this ends. It ends with him coming back to MetLife and winning, just like every other previous Jet quarterback that they have faced or former Jet quarterback that they have faced. This would be peak Jets. Just like Pennington came back in 2008, won the division against Favre. Just like we saw Geno a couple years ago be the quarterback that knocked the Jets out of the playoffs. Darnold this year beat him in London in a game that I paid a fortune to be at. I am preparing myself for the pain that is coming with that night.
So you think it's written in stone? You think Aaron Rodgers,
yes,
no matter what, is going to have an incredible game against the Jets that day?
They're going to win. Darnold wasn't great in that London game, but they won. I have the PTSD already. I could see it happening now. It'd be the most Jet-like thing, other than the most Jet-like thing ever was him getting hurt in the 4th play of the season.
I know, but Jake, we don't even know what this team's going to look like come that day. I mean, we know we have somewhat semblance of an idea.
I know they have Mike Tomlin, and we have an unproven first-time head coach and play caller.
But let's not forget the Steelers had a very below-average offense last year. And Arthur Smith, I think, leaves a lot to be desired as an offensive coordinator. And we don't know what's going on with George Pickens because that guy is a total head case. They got DK Metcalf. I'll give you credit there. And I really like Pat Freiermuth as a tight end. Very good. Their offensive line stinks. It's one of the worst. It's worse than the Jets situation. So that's what cracks me up is that you're putting a 41-year-old quarterback that can't move, can't run, and you're going to put him behind that offensive line. He ain't going to throw the ball deep, I'll tell you that much, because he didn't take shots with the Jets offense. So what makes you think he's going to take shots with DK Metcalf and George Pickens? Because those guys are going to be running down the field. And if he ain't taking shots against the Jets defense, I have no concerns about Aaron Rodgers tearing us up. I really don't. I know the Jets defense
he's going to be healthy. That's the difference. We saw it at the end of last year.
At the end of last
year, off the Achilles,
really defenses,
way better coaching. I hope you're right. I'm not rooting for this to happen.
When's the last time you saw Aaron Rodgers play good football? Consistently good football. And don't say week 18 versus the Dolphins when they gave up that game. They weren't even playing in that game. And then how about when the game he went up to Buffalo and he got absolutely destroyed in a game where he actually could have tried to be competitive and couldn't. He got benched in the 4th quarter in that game.
Well, I mean, that game was a disgrace by the entire team. He was bad that day. So was Max Mitchell and Carter Warren playing the tackle spots in that game, getting destroyed by Von Miller and whoever the other edge rusher was coming off the edge. I'll tell you what,
Broderick Jones ain't much better, man. People are shitting all over that Jets pick when the Patriots went and got ahead and gave the Steelers that pick right in front of the Jets, and Broderick Jones, the tackle's gone. Look, guess who had over 10 sacks last year? I mean, Jake, Will McDonald had a good year last year.
Yeah, but what is that? But
hang on.
One player on the Steelers O-line doesn't influence Aaron Rodgers.
That
directly.
Steelers offensive line ain't good, but I'm just telling you,
they're better coached. They win 10 games every year.
We would all be complaining about Broderick Jones stinking. The Jets don't have an offensive line. They're screwed. We lost Aaron Rodgers. Instead, the Jets have a strength in the offensive line. Now they still have to address the right tackle position.
Their roster is worse right now than it was last season. It is. And now you're going to go and you're going to tell me the Jets are going to beat Mike Tomlin and the Steelers.
They're better coached now, aren't you? Don't you think?
I hope. It's hard to be much worse. That doesn't mean Aaron Rodgers is a good coach,
it's hard to be much worse. So you're going to be better than you were last year as a coaching staff. And first off, that is what this Jets regime in the front office is telling us right now, is they're banking on their coaching staff to be able to get the best out of this core group of talented players that they have.
That's their only chance of having a competitive season. I'm just fully prepared for Rodgers to go there and play well. Like that it's Favre all over again. It's Pennington when he like just prepare yourself for that. We could all be in denial if we want, but hopefully
North
it's
is
like the 09
Jets of a
Jets.
division, man. That
I get
AFC
it.
North is a beast of division.
They were
I'm
just
telling
in
you,
the playoffs last year. Like
this is
the
Mike
Jets
Tomlin.
have gotten worse this offseason, Ryan. That's my other thing.
I don't disagree with you, Jake. I don't disagree with you, but at the same time, this is a 5-win team. It's all they were last year. So
they should have
been.
If
you're telling
me
they should have been a lot better, but if you're telling me they're worse, then I don't think they're.
The roster's worse. The roster's worse.
I think they can win more than 5 games this year.
They should. They should. But if they win 6, I'm not celebrating that. Oh, they were better.
But if they win 7, 8, or 9 games, it's a positive step in my opinion. I'm not.
You feel good about 7
compared to where we were the last 2 years? Hell yeah, I am.
Oh, they won 7 2 years ago.
And that was with the worst quarterback play ever. And I think Justin Fields can be a little bit better than Zach Wilson.
Right, so 7 wouldn't be good enough. They got to go 9 and 8, have a winning season. Give us something.
Who says they have to go 9 and 8 next year, man?
I think the expectation should be if you're moving away from Rodgers and getting rid of Devontae, and you're saying to the media and anyone who will listen, we want to win now and going forward, then I'm expecting this team to go out there and win 9 games. They don't necessarily need to make the playoffs to be great, but I want a winning season. It's only been, Ryan, it's been 10 years since they won more than 7 games. I'm not like, let's have some real expectations. Aaron Glenn's talking a big game. I hope he's right. Like, let's win. You
got to give him a chance, though, man. You got to let him establish his program.
He's going to get 2 years. He's going to get 2 years.
All right. Give him the 2 years then. Don't judge him off the first 4 games of the season, like I'm sure a lot of Jets fans are going to be in. Like week one
if they're 1 and 3, I'm going to be judging them.
I know you are, but again, this is a guy establishing his program, and he's trying to change the culture here. It's a bad culture. It's the worst in the NFL culture. So he's trying to change it because with Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and that culture, that thing stunk to high heaven, and he's trying to clean it all out.
Rodgers and Devontae for that? How about the culture that was laid down by Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas?
They're out too.
Aaron Rodgers was here,
right? But they're out too. The whole stink of it's gone. They're trying to get rid of it all.
I get that, but Ryan, if Rodgers goes elsewhere, goes to Pittsburgh, and he plays well, and the Jets stink next year, I'm using that against this new regime. That was their choice to move away from this guy. We all agreed.
Well, I don't understand what's playing well.
If he goes to Pittsburgh, plays well, and they make the playoffs, and they're good, like they always are.
Pittsburgh makes the playoffs every year. You can throw whoever the hell you want at quarterback. Mason Rudolph takes him to the goddamn playoffs.
If Justin Fields is bad and the Jets are bad, and Rodgers goes to Pittsburgh and plays competently, that will suck, and I will use that against this regime. They don't get a pass for that. They chose to move on from Aaron Rodgers when most people with any brain would agree for 1 year he made the most sense as the bridge quarterback because you also would have Devontae Adams on your team still. Right now they have Garrett Wilson and nobody at wide receiver.
I didn't want any more part of Aaron Rodgers' experiment. That thing's gone. I'm telling you, he's not that good anymore, and he can't play. He can't.
Why does Mike Tomlin want him? Why does the Hall of
Fame? Because
Mike
Tomlin's trying to save his career too, there, buddy. I mean, let's be real. Mike Tomlin is on the hot seat.
The Jets just signed Mike Tomlin's scraps.
And the Steelers, by all intents and purposes, were in on Justin Fields. And Justin Fields said, I didn't like the way you treated me last year, benching me for Russell Wilson, who also is struggling to find a job right now because the Giants are like, well, we're going to wait for Aaron before we wait for Russell Wilson. That's how bad Russell Wilson really is. I'm sorry, man. Like, Justin Fields was the Steelers wanted him back. Arthur Smith, I know for a fact, is enamored with Justin Fields.
They wouldn't give him a guaranteed starting spot. That's what was coming out of there. They benched him at 4-2. They benched him.
Tells you more about their organization going on with the Steelers, man.
You think you know more than Mike Tomlin? Mike Tomlin wants Aaron Rodgers.
Mike Tomlin is trying to win in order to save his career, and I think he's got last grasp of straws at whatever's left out there. His first option was Justin Fields. We all know that.
So if he guaranteed him a starting spot, he'd be back right now.
Correct. And they paid him what the Jets paid him.
Well, Jeremy Fowler said the money was close. Like, to me,
close,
why would you,
but if it's not the same and if it's not
you
better.
Think Justin Fields chose the Jets over the Steelers? You really think he looked at both situations?
Because of the way he was treated last year. Absolutely.
I think what happened was he wanted an opportunity to get a guaranteed opportunity to play, and Tomlin wasn't going to do that because he doesn't believe in him. That's why he sat him at 4-2.
I wouldn't say he didn't believe in him.
And correct, Mike Tomlin's trying to win. That's why he's about to sign a better option at quarterback for 1 year to try and do that.
Okay. All I'm going to say is we'll see about that. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has it anymore. When's the last time we've seen Aaron Rodgers play good football? It was his last MVP year. It's been 3 years since Aaron Rodgers has played good football.
I think it's unfair to completely discredit the last 6 games of the year when he got healthy and looked a lot better. Or over the last 10
defenses
when
he played, Jake. I've done this argument. It's tired and it's old. He's played against some of the worst defenses down that stretch, man. And you got to put it in context. I'm sorry. You're wrong. Put it in context. You're wrong. Aaron Rodgers was god-awful for the entire year.
God-awful.
For the entire year, he ruined this Jets franchise for the entire 2024.
You don't believe that.
Yes, I do.
You don't believe that. There's no way.
He literally changed the offense to his style. He refused to play in the system that they wanted to play in. They didn't run the ball, Jake. They had a stable of running backs. They refused to run the ball. They had the highest pass attempts in the red zone.
Did you watch? You watch the games? They tried to establish the run, and guess what? It would go nowhere. They were terrible at running the football, so they abandoned it, which is what you do if you can't run it, which is a major problem.
So in the loss to the Colts, the loss to the Seahawks, the loss to the Dolphins, the win against the freaking Jaguars, the loss to the Rams, and then they got destroyed to the Bills, and then they beat the Dolphins who had already given up. I'm sorry. How many powerhouse football teams are we playing here, Jake? How many freaking teams here are Super Bowl contenders? Okay. I mean, come on, man.
I mean, Ryan, let's talk about the game against Buffalo at MetLife. Was that Rodgers' fault they lost that night when Tyron Smith's committing a holding penalty to wipe away what would have been the go-ahead touchdown for Braylon Allen, or Greg Zuerlein's missing 2 more kicks that night? Like, it's not just about the quarterback, man.
What about the game in Pittsburgh versus Pittsburgh?
No one's saying that Rodgers was okay. The game in Pittsburgh was bad, but also in that same game, Rodgers puts.
You gave me one, and I just gave you a bad one. Like we can go back and forth to this all day, man.
Yeah, but
the guy didn't play good football last year.
I think he played about average. I think he was about an.
What about the game in Arizona?
I mean, he sucked, and as did the entire team. There were bad moments. They also were the worst coached team in the league last year, Ryan. You just said it yourself.
So is
it all on the quarterback? Is it all on the it's more
for the offensive side of the ball? Yes, I'm going to blame the quarterback, just like every other team blames the quarterback.
They led the NFL in blown fourth quarter leads. They were the most penalized team on defense in the NFL. How many times did the defense blow it late when they had the lead late? The Colt game, the game in Miami where Rodgers played great that day and they're up 8. He never gets the ball in overtime because the defense allows the game tying touchdown and the 2-point conversion, and they win the coin flip and they go right down the field. Like, there were a bunch of games like that. That's the point. So now we have downgraded at quarterback. We have gotten worse at right tackle. We have gotten worse at corner 2. I'm sorry. I'm just not very optimistic about this regime coming into another year here.
You're saying that because, again, I don't know why you're an Aaron Rodgers apologist here. I don't think he's that good.
I just think he was our best option to win games next year.
No, I don't think he is. I think you have a better.
Justin Fields is a much better option at quarterback then.
I'm willing to buy on the upside of a Justin Fields and getting him a system here where you actually have a good offensive line, unlike the Steelers' offensive line. You actually might have, we don't know yet because I haven't seen the offensive coordinator actually call a game. So I don't know. I don't know that part. But I know for a fact that Justin Fields is one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the NFL. You're going to be able to run the ball. You're going to have a good offensive line. You still have Garrett Wilson, and you're going to try to address the rest of these pieces in the draft and whatever else you can through trades or free agency. They're trying to establish this offense. And Aaron Rodgers did nothing for us offensively. The man ran an antiquated offense, never used motion, never used the running backs in the offense. And he forgot about the running backs after 6 weeks into the season. And I saw, like you said, blown lead after blown lead after blown lead. And the times that he did have a chance to go down the field and win the game, he never came through.
He
never came through.
He did come through. He did
against the Vikings. He did not come through. Okay. Against the Steelers, he did not come through.
Ryan, obviously he didn't come through in every opportunity, but you're saying he never came through. There were several games where he did come through. Let's do this. How about we do the Patriot game when he got them in the end zone late, and then what happened? Keyshawn Boutte is running down the field, and Jacoby Brissett is beating them. There are multiple examples. And then
what about Buffalo when he threw the interception at the end of the game? What about Minnesota where he threw the interception and overthrew Mike Williams at the end of the game?
Well, which is it with Buffalo, Ryan? Because I thought he played very well that night, and then Mike Williams ran the wrong route at the end. There also were missed kicks and penalties.
You're gonna listen to that? The Mike Williams, he ran the wrong route. That's what who threw the ball?
Dan Orlovsky showed it on. But
also, who threw a Hail Mary for them to even be in a chance to be in that game at halftime, man?
Ryan, I'm not trying to tell you he was great. I'm trying to tell you he was their best option. He threw 28 touchdowns. Over the last 10 games, it was like 18 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. He was getting better towards the end of the year, including that last game when he actually looked mobile.
When the season was over, Jake, and it was
I get it.
And no one
I get it,
cared,
but the season
man.
was over in hindsight when they fired the head coach at 2 and 3.
Anyone can throw in garbage time, man. Anyone can pad their stats in garbage time.
Not anyone can, because he threw the third most amount of touchdowns in Jet history last year.
Dude, the Jets have had the dysfunctional mess of the quarterback position in offense.
So now,
they have gone backwards in
Justin
offensive.
Fields, who can't throw with a first-time play caller, and I'm supposed to be excited and feel great about it. I'm not.
I'm not telling you to be excited or great about it, but I'm sick and tired of hearing Aaron was our best chance to win. It's not true, man. You don't even know what you have in Justin Fields or with this offensive coordinator. How about you let it happen?
I know this.
Play out.
I know that a Hall of Fame head coach who's never had a losing season moved on from Justin Fields to now try
4-2 with a BS offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith. But go ahead.
Well, that guy is still employed, and then Mike Tomlin wants Aaron Rodgers. So
how many offensive coordinators has Mike Tomlin gone through in the last couple of years?
I'm just telling you. Ultimately,
Mike Tomlin doesn't know the offense as well as people think. I'm just telling you that too.
I get it.
He ran with Ben Roethlisberger at the end.
Would you rather have Mike Tomlin or Aaron Glenn as your head coach?
That's not even a question, Jake.
But you're dumping all over Mike Tomlin.
Because this is literally what people are talking about in Pittsburgh about Mike Tomlin. He's on the hot seat. He needs to win.
I hope they fire him and he's the Jet head coach. I'd fire Aaron Glenn in 30 seconds if I could get Mike Tomlin.
That's crazy. You aren't even giving the guy a chance.
What do you mean? If I could get Mike Tomlin, you wouldn't hire him right now? If you could get Mike Tomlin,
of course you take Mike Tomlin. But the thing is, I just hate how you're talking about Aaron Glenn right now. Like,
I hate how you're talking about Aaron Rodgers. We're even.
Because Aaron Rodgers has shown me nothing in the last 3 years.
You're putting the entire failure of the 2024 Jets on him, which I think is crazy. On one hand, you said
coaches and Aaron Rodgers. How about that? Is that fine?
But if you're saying that they're the worst coach team in the league, right? You don't think that has some sort of negative impact on the quarterback and the offense and everything else? Seriously, if Mike Tomlin coached this past year's Jet team, are they not probably in the playoffs?
No, they're not in the playoffs. They had too much going on issues-wise, in my opinion.
All those issues would go away. Woody Johnson doesn't fire Robert Saleh if Mike Tomlin's here and establishes what he does, which is win.
Wait, in this scenario, hypothetically, you're putting Robert Saleh as defensive coordinator. I don't understand what you're saying there.
I'm saying if Mike Tomlin was the head coach, and let's say he gets to hire his staff in this hypothetical scenario, or even if they did what in hindsight they should have done, they hired Mike Vrabel a year ago and fired Robert Saleh after the 7-10 season, which would have been tough to do. But if you're only going to give him 5 games, then that would have been the move in hindsight. Then guess what? I think the Jets would have been way better off. They were the worst coach team in the league. We agree there.
We all agree there. Mike Vrabel would have been 10 times better than whatever the Jets had last year. I'm telling you, watch the Aaron Rodgers experiment and see what happens there in Pittsburgh. You're going to tell me it's going to go great and the Jets are going to be screwed. And I just hate that mentality. I really do.
Well,
give the Jets, give them a chance.
I can't lie.
Give them a chance.
What's a chance though? What's an acceptable record this year, Ryan? They go 5-12.
I need to see it for 2 seasons, man. I'm not going to have a raw reaction because I'll tell you this right now.
So if they're 4-13, you're going to feel confident going into year 2?
If they're going to go pick a quarterback in next year's loaded class, hell yeah, I will.
So 4 wins, 5 wins in that range. You're going to feel good going into 2020.
If they draft one of these quarterbacks in the next year's draft class that is highly touted, yes, I would feel great about it.
Great. So we're back to taking another rookie at the top of the draft, which means the Fields experiment did not work. And now we're going into year 2 where we're going to feel like, is Tanner Engstrand the right guy? And then Aaron Glenn will be an unproven, now second-year coach coming off a 4-win season, overseeing the development of a young quarterback. How
do they look during these games, Jake? Are they competitive? Are they at least in them?
They were competitive this year. They blew the most leads in the fourth quarter in the league. If the bar is competitive, that's just a loser's mentality.
There is no way I'm looking at this year and just going to be like, I'm good. We're screwed already. We're going into it.
Can they win 8 games? Is that allowed? Can they do that?
Of course they can.
That should be the goal. 8 or 9 wins.
Then go for it, man. I am all for that. I am going to fully support and give every chance to root for Aaron Glenn. This feels like pointed criticism at this regime because they chose to move on from a quarterback that's full of drama on and off the field. He fights with coaches constantly. He's not as good as people think they are. You're giving me stats in pointless games at the end of the year when he was stat padding and everyone knew it. He threw the most pass attempts in the NFL, Jake, in the red zone. They didn't run the ball in the red zone. And don't tell me that they weren't effective. They never even tried doing it. That's the whole point. They never even tried running the ball. That was a quarterback who was simply trying to put me in front of everyone else. And I don't think the Jets need that. And I don't think Aaron Glenn needed that in his first year as the head coach. Mike Tomlin is an established coach who's made the playoffs year after year, has established the culture. So yes, he could take all the BS drama that Aaron Rodgers is going to give him because he could be the bigger head figure there. But guess what? When it starts getting dysfunctional and he starts fighting on the sidelines with DK Metcalf and George Pickens on the sideline because he's not throwing the ball downfield, we're all going to laugh at that situation and go, I don't miss that at all.
Or
he literally alienated our best
like
player
Brett
in
Favre
Garrett
when
Wilson. He alienated Garrett Wilson on the sidelines. And
Garrett Wilson just had a career year. He alienated Garrett Wilson.
Wilson was never taught.
I'm so sick of that.
Look at the stats after Devontae Adams was acquired, and then tell me he wasn't alienated Garrett Wilson.
Do you think Garrett Wilson is going to be happy when he is the only target that Justin Fields could throw the ball to, and he can't get it to him because they're going to be double teaming him, and they have no weapons right now? Like, this team has gotten worse this offseason, Ryan, not better. They've gotten worse.
I'm not arguing with that.
So, why you're down on me saying I'm being too critical of this regime, not giving them a chance when everything they have done this offseason, I have fundamentally disagreed with. I didn't want a first-time head coach and a first-time GM. They did both. They hired a first-time play caller. I wanted them to keep their best option at quarterback for one more year in Rodgers because that also meant you get Devontae Adams and you wouldn't create a huge void at the receiver spot outside of Garrett. So, I can't sit here and pretend like I'm thrilled and excited about everything. Like, I'm not. I understood the Field signing. He was the best of what was out there because of the potential of maybe upside of this coaching staff's legit. But your criticism of me, or you're saying I have pointed criticism for this regime, Ryan, if they go out there and win 6 games, and you're telling me, well, how do they look? Are they competitive? They were competitive this year, and it sucked. It was a nightmare. I'm not signing up for a 6-win season feeling good about it. They get 2 years to turn it around. All right. Aaron Glenn, when he was in Detroit, by the second year there with Dan Campbell, they were 9-8. Mm-hmm. This team's got to win games right away. This team's more talented than that Lions team. I'm sorry. I'm tired of the losing and accepting losing. It's enough. It is enough of the losing. They have to win games. They don't get this grace period. It doesn't take 3 or 4 years to rebuild in the NFL anymore. And I don't like this approach in free agency. Shopping at the dollar store for all these guys.
I'm not agreeing with the free agents. Again, I've never said I agree with the way they're going in free agency.
So it's tough for me to be that excited right now. That's my point to you.
Okay, but I'm just, I am just saying I'm tired of hearing, again, not giving these guys a chance before they even play. Like, let them play. Let's see what the scheme is. Give them a chance.
All we could do is judge them based on the moves this offseason. But you're saying yourself you didn't love the free agent signings. I talk about this team every day. So in real time, I got to offer my opinion. I can't say, let's just wait and see.
We'll wait and see. And that's what it's got to be. And they have to draft well. That's the key. Like, that's what they're clearly banking on. They're clearly banking on Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn being great scouts and being able to identify talent, not just in day 1, but day 2 and day 3 of the draft. And to be able to draft good startable players that you can develop into this team. Because that's the way the Lions did it. And that's the way the Denver Broncos have been trying to do it. But they have to do it though. And you have to see it happen. It can't just be immediate success though, is what I'm trying to say. Is I'm not expecting a playoff team this year. I'm not. Unless there's some other big moves coming here that I don't know about, I don't expect a playoff team here. But I am expecting a competitive team.
An 8 or 9 win team this upcoming
I'm expecting
year.
A competitive team that's going to be in every single game, every single week. Truly, that's what I'm expecting. For them to be in every single game, every single week. Exactly. But I need to see it first before I just start going, you know what, man? This is it. I don't. 2 years, that's it. I'm not going to do that, man. I'm just going to go in and watch year 1 and be like, let's see what happens. And if I don't like the way the coach is calling plays, and I don't like the way the offense is playing, and I don't like the formations of the schemes,
that's fine, Ryan. But they get 2 years. How many years do you want to keep going without making the playoffs? It's only at 14. 14.
What happens if they make the playoffs this year, Jake? Then what are you going to say?
Then they buy themselves a tremendous amount of time, and I'd be thrilled. I'm not rooting to be right, Ryan. I'm a Jet fan.
I didn't like the way you started it with Can't wait for week 1 when we get destroyed by Aaron Rodgers, and then we're all
because I fully expect that to happen. I can't lie to you.
I don't think that way. I'm not that negative of a fan, and
Unfortunately,
I don't ever put that
I'm
in
not
the ethos.
normally either. But the Jets have broken me, Ryan. This season has done irreparable. Like Rodgers has broken you with your Rodgers derangement syndrome. The Jets have broken me.
Not derangement syndrome.
I can't do it anymore.
I've watched the tape on him. I know fans here that don't want to listen to me. I've actually watched the tape on him. Every single throw he had and every single attempt. I watched a bottom tier quarterback. A bottom tier quarterback. Everyone.
And what do you think Justin Fields is when you watch the tape on him? Which we did on the show last week.
We haven't even talked about Justin Fields, but again, you're comparing one to the other. It's like
because they're about to swap quarterbacks,
right? And I'm telling you right now, I don't know if Justin Fields is going to be a good quarterback for us. That's all I know. I don't know. We have to see. I'm not.
Nobody knows. You don't know that it's not going to work for Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, but you're flaming me for thinking that it is going to work. You're flaming me for thinking that he's going to play the Jets and play well next year and beat them, which I would expect. I hope it doesn't happen.
Jermaine Johnson to sack his ass 5 different times because he can't run.
I hope like hell you're right, because we're never going to hear the end of it if he comes back, plays well, and the Jets stink again, as usual.
We've been burnt so many times. I'm used to it, man. Like I just write it off.
That's my point. So how could you say I can't act the way I am as a fan when deep down
because I'm not acting like this. I'm not acting like this now. I'll act like that after that Monday night game. Like I can't even think about that. I'm more focused on how are they going to still get better in the draft, and what are they going to do at 7, and what are they going to do the rest of the draft? And
I am as well.
How are they going to address their holes, and what's their offense going to actually look like? Are they going to extend Garrett Wilson? Are they going to extend Sauce Gardner? Like those are the things I'm focused on. You know, like that's the thing I care about as a Jets fan.
I am too, Ryan. But I talk about this team every day, and the news of the day is Rodgers is meeting with the Steelers. The Jets play the Steelers. That also impacts
sign with them,
right? So like. That's what we're talking about. If we could talk about the draft as well, which I planned on asking you about. I think we were going to get into this Rodgers debate in March, but it is what it is. I mean, I hope the Jets destroy the Steelers when they play. I'm just expecting them to lose. Like, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Like, the Jets don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. They've been a dumpster fire of a franchise for far too long, and I'm not going to blindly defend them. I love Aaron Glenn. Love him as a player. I actually met him at the Combine. He was cool. But I'm not going to blindly say, you're the man, you're going to be great. Like, show us, man. This fan base is sick and tired of being led down like this path where they're going to be great. Like, win games. They haven't won more than 7 games in a decade. When I said that to someone that works for the Jets, they couldn't believe it. That's how pathetic it was. Think about that.
I don't disagree with you, man. I don't disagree with you. It's just we clearly have different opinions about the Aaron Rodgers thing, which is fine. Like we have different opinions. I saw it one way, you saw it the other. I don't have derangement syndrome. I purely watching off the film and what I saw situation wise. And I'm laying out for you. I don't think he's a good match here. And I didn't think he was a good match for us anymore here. I don't think it was going to ever work with Aaron Glenn here. And I was happy that they moved on from that whole situation. Good luck to Mike Tomlin is all I'm going to say. That guy's on the hot seat over there in Pittsburgh. So he's doing everything he possibly can to try and win. And I don't know if that's going to work because usually when you're in those situations, you make bad decisions and it doesn't work out.
Ladies and gentlemen, some super chats here because they're coming in. We also have Asmaniac Madness to get to too. I'm just going to open up the polling real quick because this is the latest. I think we've been into the show since we have not announced voting starting. Here's where we stand. It's the final matchup in the Train Region opening round. It is VMan, the 2 seed, taking on the number 15 seed, Charlie the Dog Groomer. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jim Nash.
It's time for Asmaniac Madness. Who will cut the nets down as the top Asmaniac for 2025? Some of you don't even care, but we do. Let's get to it.
Also, before we get to the super chats, we're doing another raffle. We announced the winners on the first show this morning for our 19th raffle. Our theme this week is the 2010 Jets, something that Ryan and I could agree on was a great year for us as Jet fans. Darrelle Revis signed helmet, Rex Ryan signed helmet, our top 2 items we're going to be raffling away. So a $20 super chat will get you 5 entries in the raffle. And if you gift the membership, the amount you gift is the amount of entries that you receive in the raffle next week. V-Man writes in, Tomlin is about to tie Marvin Lewis for consecutive losses. This isn't a good record to tie. Also, Steelers fans want his head on a pike. Great, V-Man. We had this argument when this was going on. You would trade Aaron Glenn in 2 seconds for Mike Tomlin to be your coach. Just like, hey, maybe it got stagnant for Andy Reid in Philly. Do you think Kansas City regrets it? Like, come on, man. Ray Danger says, Rodgers is a proven talent. Justin Fields is not. Jay writes in, this is the greatest day. This guest needs to be a weekly. GTA writes in, Rodgers is the only quarterback in the league whose stats don't matter because they came against bad teams. I hate this guy. The hate this guy gets is hilarious. Ray Danger writes in, is this guy willing to bet Justin Fields ends up with better stats than Rodgers this year? If you were betting on it, Ryan, who do you think has a better season, Aaron Rodgers or Justin Fields?
Well, what metrics are we going by here, Jake?
However you want to define it. Like, just we look back and go, quarterback.
He's going to have better Rodgers will have better passing stats than Justin Fields, just because that's how it's gone their entire careers here since Justin Fields has been in the NFL. If you want to go by wins, I don't know. Justin Fields went 4-2 as a starter, and then again, I don't know what happened in Pittsburgh. Why clearly they think their offense was being stagnant, and they went for Russell Wilson, and you saw how much that flamed out towards the end of the season. I don't know how to define that, man. I don't know how. Like, if you want to go by wins, you want to go by throwing touchdowns. Like,
I'll go by wins and stats. Rodgers is better than Fields. That's how I would go by.
I would not bet it. No. Because again,
you have to make a pick though. Are you taking Rodgers or Fields? Your life.
I'd have to go with Rodgers because of the situation with Pittsburgh.
That's my point.
Yep, I got you.
Sam says this is fire. We need more popcorn. Fire. Oh yeah. The idea that we bring in people who only agree with me, that is not true. If you watch the show for the 4 years and counting, I've been doing it now. That is not the case. I'll argue with anyone. Sam writes in, no need to pretend. Would you be shocked if they picked a first-round quarterback? I would be shocked personally.
Would you?
If they took Jackson Dart at 7, for example,
yeah.
I would be. I wouldn't be shocked if they took a quarterback on day 2, whether that's the 2nd or 3rd round.
They're going to pick a quarterback in this draft. They'll come away with a quarterback in this draft.
I agree.
No doubt.
I don't know if it's day 2, though. I think I could see them waiting till the 3rd day because I feel like for them to be good, and this is going back to what you were saying, I agree with you. For them to be good this year, they need 3 starters with their first 3 picks. So I almost feel like unless they're trading out of one of those 7 and getting extra picks, I don't know if they can afford a 2nd round or 3rd round quarterback selection this year. They need 3 starters based on what this roster, which is not as good as it was when the season ended, what it looks like right now.
No. And the way they position themselves, Jake, like you said, I also wonder, like all these guys that they're signing, they're young, right? They're still not in that 30 or older range. They're guys they're banking on if they can coach them to their potential. The Brandon Stevens one, I think, made a lot of people's head question and turn like, what is that? That contract didn't make much sense. But Andre Cisco, you're banking on him to have a rebound year because he had 4 turnovers, I think 2 years ago, none last year. You're hoping to get more out of him. Tyler Johnson interests me. He kind of came on in spurts at the end of the year last year. He's very explosive, good after the catch. You wonder what you can get out of him and how they can utilize him in Tanner Engstrand's offense. But it always comes down to point blank, Jake. How does Justin Fields play? How does he distribute the ball? I went back and watched his film in Chicago. There were a lot of throws, specifically in that 2023 season, where I was like, where is this with Pittsburgh? And I think Pittsburgh, again, I was dreading for them to even interview Arthur Smith again. And I'm like, I don't want any part of that man. I think he plays in that style that is so not conducive to good quarterback play. And I think it's very old and just run the ball, play action, and just run the ball even more. It's not the style of the NFL that you want to play with a quarterback. And I think a guy with Justin Fields, he has the ability. We've seen him do it in spurts in Chicago. If you go back to 2023, he can make some incredible throws and some incredible plays. It's just a matter of the consistency and if he can get the ball downfield into these weapons' hands. They need weapons. Like Tyler Johnson, while you think, we'll see what happens there. They don't have a tight end. They don't have a starting tight end on this roster right now.
No, this team right now has one offensive weapon on the outside and Breece Hall. That's it. I'd bring back Conklin too for what it's worth if it's a 1-year deal.
I wouldn't hate that. I mean, this is I listened to Nick Ferry on your show today, and we talked about it with Frankie yesterday. This is a loaded tight end class from everyone's draft pundits saying. if they, it wouldn't shock me if they take a tight end in this draft as well. I don't know if they'll take Tyler Warren at 7, just because I think Kaz made a great point yesterday about, the Lions, they found Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round. Like, you could find wide receivers late in the draft. You could find tight ends late in the draft. They drafted Sam Laporta in Detroit in the 2nd round, I think with a 34th pick overall. You can find tight ends and wide receivers later in the picks. Day 1, we already know should be a starter every day. That should be probably in your trenches. Fortify either that defensive tackle run stopper if Mason Graham somehow slips, or go take the right tackle from Missouri. Like, that's the smart way to do it. I just don't know if they're going to do that because I haven't seen what Darren Muji's plan is here. Like, we haven't seen him actually draft yet. The free agent approach, man, leaves a lot to be desired. The Jets aren't offseason champs for once. Like, maybe it's smart.
Means they win in the regular season for once.
It would make you a much more happier man. I tell you that much right now. I feel your pain, Jake. I do.
I want them to win, Ryan. I want to be very clear about this. I talk about this team probably more than most humans on the planet. Like, I do 2-hour shows per day year round. In July, when there's nothing happening, I'm live every day, twice a day, still doing this show. So I want them to be good. I'm just like, I'm tired of the losing. I just am. And when I see, some of these free agent signings, I'm like, really? That's what we're doing here?
They're banking on guys that they're hoping haven't reached their full potential yet, and they're trying to develop them into their full potential. These are guys that were drafted in the first 3-4 rounds of 2021 and beyond. I don't know. Like, you're putting a lot of pressure on your coaching staff to develop these guys and put them in the right spots and make them prosper in your system. It's a lot. I think you're putting the pressure on Aaron Glenn's staff, but it's really, and let me ask you this, Jake. No matter what, I think the defense is going to be a lot better this year than it was last year, just because it was putrid last year and there's still a lot of talent on this defense. It always going to come down though to how the hell this offense is going to play. Can they make this offense somewhat modern and effective and actually move the ball with efficiency and score when they get in the red zone? Can they do it?
David Atkins is the first to gift during today's show. David, you are in the raffle for one.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Welcome aboard. Some super chats here. J-Mole, the first time AR gets sacked, his legs will be gone, just like what happened with us. Father Time is undefeated. Or second year removed from the Achilles, and he balls out, J-Mole. Get ready. Michael writes in, I haven't seen any Lions follow Glenn. Also, why the F did we sign Tyler Boyd? Is that the new culture? Or why didn't we sign Tyler Boyd?
I was going to say, when did we sign Tyler Boyd?
I was going to say, he would be our second best receiver immediately if they signed him. So I am surprised the lack of Lions guys that have come over. Even like Tim Patrick, like re-signed for like a 1-year deal. Like I am surprised about that.
Well, I think, you kind of answered your own question there when you ripped my head off earlier. Where's the better situation, the Jets, or are you staying in Detroit and hopefully going to win a Super Bowl? I think a lot of the Lions went back to Detroit because they want to give this another shot. Like, I don't blame them, unless Darren Muji was going to go in and say, we're going to overspend and pay you these guys. I don't blame him. Like, go stay in Detroit, go try and win a Super Bowl. And then maybe next year you can get a big payday by the Jets and Aaron Glenn brings you over. It was a little shocking, but I also don't blame a lot of these players for wanting to stick in Detroit.
Mother effing Chew is gifted a membership. Chew, you won the raffle earlier. You won, I believe, I have it in my notes here. I believe you won a signed Brandon Marshall jersey on our raffle today. And it was, in fact, the Brandon Marshall jersey. Chew, email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, your address, and I will get it sent out to you this upcoming week. I messaged you in the Discord. I didn't hear from you, Chew, but I'm glad you're alive, and thanks for supporting the show, as always. All right, a couple super chats here, then we'll mix in some calls. Mark writes in, how will the Jets win 5 games, score 19 points a game, and be bottom 5 in passing efficiency without AR? Pitt, one and done without him, one and done with him. So Mark is thrilled to move on from Rodgers. R&R writes in, can't wait to see Tomlin with a losing record. Good luck with that, R&R. Banks writes in, DJ Moore career year with Justin Fields.
He did.
Yeah, it's true. But the problem was
offensive line too.
There wasn't enough there with Fields. Like, they just,
it was DJ Moore and Cole Kmet, really good tight end.
That's why I think Warren should be in play at 7. Part of the reason. He's also good.
Yeah, he's a stud. And I think who was it today? I saw the Jets are enamored with Warren, if you want to believe him. What was the report today? Did you see that one?
Yeah, who said that? You know what? I think it was Tony Pauline. So
yeah, Tony Pauline. Take it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
That guy likes making shit up. I
Well,
mean, listen.
congrats to everyone who wanted Armin Membu. You're gonna get your wish.
Look, I mean, Tyler Warren would be fun. It'd be fun. And I think you saw what Cole Kmet could do with Justin Fields as well. Like, have a little bit of faith if you can. And I know you don't, Jake, and I hear you. Let's see what happens, man. They're banking on, I can't say this again.
Do you smell that?
Go ahead.
Smells like 4 wins, Ryan. Help me. Make me believe.
Oh, man. But here's the thing. You're going to see something, I think, a lot of Jets fans, you yourself and a lot of Jets fans are going to see some quarterback play that they've never seen before when it comes to the athletic ability and how Justin Fields is going to run the ball. Like, he's going to have some special runs where you're going to be like, whoa, I've never seen a Jets quarterback ever do that. Ever. You'll 100%. See some of those plays. And the other thing you're going to see, though, is, and I truly believe this, he's going to be able to get the ball in Garrett Wilson's hands because he's had a connection with him previously. You can't understate or even overstate how much they've had that in the past at Ohio State. It's clear, they're going with that Ohio State trust, and they're going to believe in that. It's a matter of Tanner Engstrand scheming up Garrett Wilson a lot of targets and a lot of plays and get him the ball in the red zone as well. I wouldn't shock me if Garrett Wilson has an even better statistical year with Justin Fields as his quarterback, because I think the Jets are banking on that, and they know what kind of talent he is.
Well, they need to get him help, though, because they're one injury to Garrett Wilson away from being completely screwed.
No doubt. I mean, you could say that about a lot of receiving corps, too. I mean, not like the two-headed monsters in Cincinnati or Minnesota. That's different, right? But, I mean, you could say that about a lot of other teams that, you're one wide receiver away from not having a lot of weapons on offense. But they're banking on a lot of these guys, again, to live up to potential that they haven't had yet. I'd be interested to see what Tyler Johnson does. I really do. Kind of intrigues me. Guy, he's got a lot of yak ability to him, and maybe he wasn't obviously the third or fourth option in the LA Rams last year, but when he did play and get the ball, he was explosive and he made some plays, and it made you go, all right, I could see them wanting to take a shot. And the same thing with this tight end from LA, from the Chargers. Smart. Again, when the ball's in his hands, he's explosive, but he just never really was targeted because he wasn't a part of the offense. So it's like, well, there's probably a reason for that, but maybe the Jets can unlock something. I'm grasping at straws, Jake, but I'm trying.
I like the positivity, Ryan. I don't have it.
Try to be positive, man.
Now let me ask you a question. When you were out running errands today, did you see Darren Muji at the Dollar Player store?
He's got an interesting approach so far for the free agent class, man. And listen, Kaz was right when he talked to me about this yesterday. He goes, they've gone cheap before. Joe Douglas did it in 2021 when he went cheap, and they tried to say that they could try and develop through the draft. That's clearly what they're trying to do now. They're trying to build through the draft, but you got to hit on your picks because you got a lot of holes on this roster. Right tackle, tight end, defensive tackle, safety. I would say you need another one. You need another corner, probably. You need another wide receiver. It's a lot of holes to fill through the draft. Normally, you can get maybe 2. If you get 3 starters out of a draft, that's a great draft. It's a great draft. 2, it's like, oh, that's a good draft. That's a good draft. You got 2 starters out of the draft. That's great. It's good. I don't know how they're going to draft. And it's not a great draft class overall in talent, from what I understand.
Roseanne writes in, isn't Fields 0-22 when his team gives up more than 20 points? I believe that is the stat. Someone's got to verify that, but that has been said on the channel by a couple of people. Jersey Jet writes in, willing to bet AR has done nothing to improve his mobility this offseason. I think his mobility improves being year 2 off the Achilles and just being healthy. Now, if he gets injured again, he has to play through it. I mean, that's the unknown. 100%. That's the unknown. I tend to lean with the fact the guy's in incredible shape. We've seen videos of him working out already this offseason, and we saw him at the end of last year. Even if you're not high on him, Ryan, he did look more mobile at the end once his leg healed up. That you can't really dispute that.
No, I don't dispute that. But again, it wasn't world beater defenses he was going up against. Like, he's going to go up against some good teams in the AFC North.
Yeah,
going up against Baltimore twice.
The Bengals defense stinks. I mean,
the Bengals defense stinks. There's no one there.
The
But
Browns defense is okay.
The Browns, Myles Garrett, he's one hit away from Myles Garrett destroying him. So
I get it, but like every quarterback is one hit away.
Okay. Those other quarterbacks like Justin Fields, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, they can all move.
Yeah, but all those guys, but to your point on that, all those guys have missed time with injuries in their career. All those guys.
Yeah, but all of them aren't 41 years old, and you're banking on for them then to bring you to the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. Like,
see, here was my thing though. I was banking on Aaron Rodgers to get this team the best chance to have a winning season, be their best option, 9-8. Because my goal is to have a winning season this year. I'm not being thrilled about the direction of this team if they win 6 games or 7 games. I've seen that. I have a winning season. They've not done that in 10 years. You know, no team in the league has been that bad. If everyone talks about the playoff drought, that's embarrassing enough. Find me the team that hasn't won more than 7 games in 10 years. You can't. It's just the Jets. Think about that. Every team in the league. And I always go back to this too, Ryan, right? The year the Jets had the historic draft with Douglas, where they took Sauce number 4 and Garrett number 10. Jermaine they traded up for, Brees early on day 2. They were picking 4th overall that year. Every team in the top 5, Jacksonville, the Lions, Texans, the Giants, those are the other 4 teams. They all have made the playoffs and won at least one playoff game since 2022. Meanwhile, we as Jet fans are sitting here being like, well, we got to see this regime do its thing and, you know, what direction. It's like, no, man, win football. Why can every team accidentally be good for a year and we can continue to suck year after year after year? Like, I'm not even talking about the Super Bowl,
man. It starts with the ownership.
It's brutal.
He's a brutal owner. The stories about his son were all true, it turns out. Like, his son is heavily involved in all this. And I'm not going to blame his son for why the Jets are dysfunctional. It's him. It's Woody. It's Woody's grubby hands all over this organization.
Oh, but it's also just hiring bad people. Like, hiring the wrong people. Like, these are Woody's hires. Stay out of the way and let them do their job now. That's it.
I think Joe Douglas got stale a little bit. He missed a lot in free agency. He had a terrible first draft class, and he had some other good, decent drafts. But, yeah, he hired the wrong people. And I just think that Woody can't help it. He always has to be involved. And he is the sole reason. Let's if we want to really put all the blame, it's him. He is the reason why this Jets organization has not made the playoffs in over a decade.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Jets are officially worse at tight end. Tyler Conklin is signing with the Chargers. So now we have Jeremy Ruckert as our only tight end of significance on the roster. Oh, they signed that smart guy.
State offense, baby.
So think about this. We replaced Conklin with the Chargers tight end, and then the Chargers just signed our starting tight end. Great.
Jake, I can't offer you optimism. All I can offer you is hope. I know you hate this team, like you said right there, but what I can tell you is that just wait until August. Training camp will be there.
What do you think I'll be smelling then? Will I be up to 5 or 6 by then, Ryan?
I think you're going to see a team that has way more fight and way more, like, I don't know how to say this, like more culture about trying to change and be better. I don't know. Like, I'm buying hope, man.
Do you believe Aaron Glenn is a good coach? You think he will be the answer?
I do think he's a good coach. Do I think he'll be a good NFL head coach? I do.
Is Aaron Glenn the Jets head coach 3 seasons from now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Will the Jets have made the playoffs 3 seasons from now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is Justin Fields the quarterback that will lead them to the playoffs 3 seasons from now?
Maybe.
All right.
I have more hope than a lot of people, and I know I am. People probably are like, Ryan, you're an idiot. That's fine. You guys, a lot of people disagree with me. It's fine. I've seen a lot of plays and I've seen a lot of talent on the field where I'm like, why hasn't this guy been given a full shot and an opportunity to fully develop as a passer? I look at what the situation was in Chicago. They had a really good, like, offensively, like, they got a lot out of DJ Moore, and they were able to do a lot with Cole Kmet, and Justin Fields made a lot of impressive throws, and they weren't terrible that year. If you remember, like,
they won 7 games.
Yeah. People were like, what? Are we sure we want to move on from Justin Fields for Caleb Williams, who did not have a good year at all last year? And I'm just like, they hated that offensive coordinator over there, Shane Waldron. They're like, get rid of this guy. And he's He got fired again from his second job in 2 years as an offensive coordinator with the Raiders last year. Like, maybe Tanner Engstrand's a good offensive coordinator. And if he can get Justin Fields to be better than even 2023 version Justin Fields, you might have like another Sam Darnold situation or Geno Smith situation where it's like, whoa, we're winning football games. Whoa, our offense is somewhat competitive. Like, whoa, we're able to run the ball. We have a deadly red zone attack. The read option in the red zone should be filthy with Justin Fields. Like, there's no reason they can't have incredible offense. And if they do take a guy like Tyler Warren that you want, imagine that triple option.
That'd be fun.
If I got an RPO with him and Breece Hall with Justin Fields, I either fake the hand it off to Breece, keep it myself, or I'm dumping this thing off to Tyler Warren in the end zone. You could dream up all kinds of options. So, listen, man, that's my
Stone
faith.
smart as
That's
the
my
next
hope.
Antonio Gates.
Yeah, okay. Relax.
Ryan, before you go,
Yeah.
my video guy, Gator McCluskey, made something for you. So I haven't seen it yet, but I'm just gonna play it. We'll get your instant reaction. Are you ready?
No. Aaron Rodgers was god-awful. For the entire year, he ruined this Jets franchise. That was a quarterback who was simply trying to put me in front of everyone else. All right. That's fine.
He has sent you
I'm
to
fine to be on
RDS
that, man.
Asylum.
Just wait and see what happens this year, man. Wait and see. I can't wait to see DK Metcalf and him duking it out on the sideline.
DK Metcalf, man. Now that's a guy I wanted the Jets to take in 2019. Remember he ran the slow 3-cone drill? Couldn't take him. Ugh. Ridiculous.
There's so many bad and missed decisions over the years. That's why the Jets are in this situation they are now.
I love it. Ryan, this was fun, man. Great job.
Yeah.
Appreciate you hopping on. Good back and forth.
Anytime, Jake.
Where can people find you?
You got me there. Ryan M. Sampson, the New York Post Sports.com, New York Post Sports Twitter account, our New York Post Sports YouTube channel. Go check it out. We got a lot of great content for Jets, Giants. Baseball season's fastly approaching. I'll plug that a little bit. So yeah, got some good stuff coming, man.
Ryan does the Yankee podcast with Joel Sherman too for the Post. So definitely, if you're a Yankee fan like I am, check that out. It's always a good listen every week. Ryan, appreciate you, man. Have a great weekend.
You too, Jake. Thanks, bud.
Ryan Sampson from the Gangs All Here podcast. Good stuff there from Ryan. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Thunder Lips with a super chat here. The difference between Zone D and Glenn's Man D. Detroit's 13 of 16 interceptions coming from the safety spot. How do our offseason moves promote this? I can't answer that because I don't even know who the safeties are right now. I guess Isaiah Oliver is one of them. Tony Adams is the other. Or Cisco is one of them too. I don't know. I mean, they probably think Cisco could be a ball hawk. I mean, you watch him play, there's talent there. He had a bad year, but he's been decent in his career. That signing I have no problem with. I would prefer than just spend the money on Holland because I don't think he got paid as much money as anyone thought. But I don't know. I'm curious to see what the money is that Conklin just got here from the Chargers. Like, Jets couldn't bring him back on a one-year deal because he got a one-year deal. If it's 1 year, $7 million, Jets couldn't do that. Like, he's going to ball out with Justin Herbert throwing to him. You know it. Ryan writes, and our team will be better next year. Trust in Glenn. Ryan, you're probably right. They should be better. They should be able to win at least 6 games with the talent that is still on this team. But my point to Ryan in the back and forth is that's not good enough for me. It's not. You know what good enough for me would be next year? 9 wins, a winning season. Show me that we have a real coach. We talk about Mike Tomlin, like the people who rip Tomlin, right? The guy never has a losing year. All we do as Jet fans is experience losing season after losing season. All right? That's a pretty good problem to have. You're in it every year. You're not talking about doing mock drafts in October. All right? We're having at least 10 post-game parties on this channel every year guaranteed. Yeah, does it suck to lose in the playoffs? Sure. But I'd love to get to that point where at least we're relevant every year. We're in the mix. You knock on the door long enough, eventually you break it down. This team is so far away from that. So the unmitigated gall of some people in this fan base poo-pooing that. Like, come on. I have no reason to trust Aaron Glenn. I'm rooting for Aaron Glenn, but he's got to earn my trust as a long-suffering fan of this team. Ladies and gentlemen, the Thunderlips is dropping a 50 burger. Oh my goodness, of all the dramatic things I have ever seen.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive one ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
All right, I need to think about what I'm about to read here. Jake, read as yourself to Carrie, who's watching. Now, for those who don't know, Thunderlip's wife, I believe her name is Carrie. In my life, there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I could face it again. Can't stop now. I traveled so far to change this lovely life. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. I don't know what I just read, where that's from, what that references, but for $50, I'll say almost anything. I used to joke with my old co-host on the radio in Houston. I said that he would do live reads for Al Qaeda if they paid him enough. Oh, it's a Foreigner song? Okay. You know, I probably do know that song. Speaking of songs, you know what's been in my head all day?
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him One Punch Brigger. The moon landing was free. They call him One Punch Brigger. His claim is not true. They call him One Punch Brigger. Hated jokes is like his ass. One Punch Brigger. Don't you know they need one?
One Punch Brigger, man. The best. Did I miss any super chats here? I don't know if I did. Doug says both the Jets and Steelers prefer Fields over Rodgers. That's just not true. It's just not true. Steelers are the ones who benched him at 4-2, and they didn't guarantee him a starting spot. I think they wanted Fields back to maybe compete with whoever they draft, or they end up bringing back Mason Rudolph. They wanted to get at least one quarterback signed, but that's not true. That's not what happened. Sean writes in, Jake will apologize when Aaron Glenn becomes the next Mike Tomlin. Yes, if Aaron Glenn becomes the next Mike Tomlin, meaning he'd be a Hall of Fame head coach, I would love to come on the air and kiss your feet, Sean, and apologize every day for the rest of my life if the Jets are lucky enough to have a head coach who could be the coach for 20 years and never once have a losing season and go to 2 Super Bowls, winning one of them. Sean, you got me there. You got me there. Unbelievable. And the Steelers did not give Justin Fields the contract the Jets did. Frank writes in, Jake would rather be wrong and win than right and lose like other fans. Yeah, but you think I want this team to be bad? Do you guys realize that I make my living talking about the Jets, and I make way more money and gain way more views and get more subscribers when this team is good? It's not the opposite, in fact. Like, trust me, when the team is good, this channel does way better. It just does. The diehards are here every day no matter what, and that's why this fan base is special, because this team has sucked, and I've had, you know, and I keep growing. But if this team was ever good, you know what that would do? I'm just so sick of the losing, man. Call me skeptical. Fine. I want to win. Holy crap. Mimosa with a 50 burger. Wow. A 50 spot all in one from Mimosa.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
Ah, the hell with it.
Time to strap up. I got 50 names to read. We're getting drenched in memberships right now. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. It's time. It is time, baby. Here we go. I don't need my umbrella. Wanna know why? I got my helmet. Mimosa, McNearney, 50 Burger, Phillies Limp Noodle, Papa Jet, Dr. VMan, KDG Adventures, Hennessy Heisman,
Jero, Eric Barty, Jet Life, 1321, Tammy C, Keith Kirkwood, Greg, Sorry Not Sorry, Garrett, Morning Woody, Elton B, Bobbleneck, Stephen Dominic, Shadow Round, Florida Man of Culture. By the way, if you didn't get a membership here, you may never get one. Mimosa giving us a 50 burger and one. Are you kidding me? Mad Willie, 3MC, Thomas Rossi, Paul Bruno, Devin Frank, Charleston Jetroof, Gangrene Goliath, Amir Layden, Michael Petagrosa, Ross Kate, M30, Daz Acoustic, That Is Gaming, Skinny D, South End Auto Detailing, a.k.a. South Ass, Phantom, Green, and White, DM95, Jack Molinaro, Don Red, Kakuka Lake Jetfan, Gary the Snail, Alan is a Douchebag, Mark Riz, Yeetus Deletus, York Pinnock, Christian Thompson, Alan is a Douchebag, Thomas Rossi, Mad Willie, Florida Man of Culture, Alan is a Douchebag, all receiving channel memberships. Let's go. Congratulations to all who got a membership. Mimosa, you're the best. Now that is what we call membership madness on this show. Good Lord. Wow. Shout out to you, Mimosa. You're in the raffle for 5. And on that note, I'm going to announce what the next prize is. So we have a signed Darrelle Revis helmet. We have a signed Rex Ryan helmet. Prize number 3, signed jersey by the guy I saw yesterday at our ESPN New York studios. Can't wait. Bart Scott. So those are the top 3 prizes in our 2010 New York Jets theme raffle. Revis, the best player on the 2010 Jets. Rex, the head coach. Bart Scott, famous for the can't wait game against the Patriots. More prizes to come. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Amos said 5. Did I say you gifted 5, Amos? I meant 50. I don't know. If I said 5, I obviously meant 50. That's a crazy number, Mimosa. Thank you very much. Very rarely do we get a 50 burger dropped. That's big time. Big fella, I want to propose the next emoji be for Mimosa. Mimosa, I've been trying to get Mimosa to call in. So she's a huge Jet fan, obviously, based in Gainesville. And I believe she's in the University of Florida Athletic Hall of Fame. So I think there's a lot of untapped potential for the 4.5 percenters to have Mimosa be a regular. Sean with a super chat. You're still my favorite content creator, Jake. We all want one thing, a team to be proud of. Amen, Sean. And I promise I will kiss your feet if Aaron Glenn is Mike Tomlin. I stand by it. Jersey Jet, Mimosa deserves a jingle or an Edgemo. Amen. I'm going to have to get with the powers that be for a Mimosa Edgemo. R.I.P. Keith Best. All right, we're going to get your calls coming up. Let me just update the Asmaniac Madness standings right here. I mean, I expected this to be a blowout, and, well, I mean, take a look. VMan dominating Charlie the Dog Groomer 82-18. The only question is, does he beat Bonesy's record for largest margin of victory, which I got to now look up because I don't have it in front of me, what that is. But it was set yesterday, and it was, let's see. Bonesy, where are you at? Bonesy versus JT. Mr. Bonesy won yesterday by a record 85-14. So that's the record right now. V-Man's at 82. So we'll see. All right. More of your calls coming up. But first, we pause. This ad is paid for by the Vote for Bobby Midnight campaign.
No notes. Bobby Midnight, J Quest, round of 32. Get ready. All right, he's batting leadoff today. He is dominating right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2 seed inside the train region is on the line.
It's time for another VMan call. Hopefully he's not on the toilet.
What's up?
You tell me, B, man. I mean, you're cruising right now.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I'll play one of the most iconic Queen bass lines using one finger. Okay. All right, let's see. I'll play them now.
Gator wants bass, and Jake too.
I don't know. We'll see. No, it's not. Come on. That's not. Come on. That's Under Pressure. We all know Vanilla Ice stole that shit. Come on. Nobody hears it. That's right.
Are you giving us a victory concert, B-Man?
No, I thought I'd just break it out. You suggested I just break out something, break out some instruments. I haven't done this in a while, and I haven't practiced in a while, so I thought I'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
When was the last time you jumped under your bed like you did when you became Captain Puerto Rico a few weeks back?
I'm not doing that right now.
No? You're saving that for the round of 32?
We'll see. We'll see. You know. Yes, David Bowie. Yeah, no, David Bowie was in that Under Pressure with Queen.
I see.
Yeah, but no, yeah. With Aaron Rodgers going, like, I could care less right now. Like, the Steelers, like, for me, like I said, I'm not the biggest Steelers fan just of the organization because I feel like they're a bit too complacent with what they are. For an organization as storied as they are, to go, they're 6 consecutive postseason losses, and none of them are impressive.
Hey, V-Man, next time you come on the show and you play, can you give us an advance warning so Scott could do drugs?
Sure. And I think after that talk with him, you need some.
Is that the ganja, V-Man?
Yeah.
The boubange?
Yeah.
The weed?
Yeah. What are you, Stephen A. Smith?
Many things. Stephen A. is not one of them.
You know, but you saying it the way he does is like, but no, like, way I see it is, you're right. It's going to go one of 2 ways. It's with the Jets. If Rodgers goes to the Steelers and the Jets play the Steelers, it's going to go one of 2 ways.
Yeah, the Jets are going to lose. I mean, I just prepare yourself. Doesn't mean it wasn't the right move to move on from Rodgers or Aaron Glenn can't figure it out.
Or it's the traditional Steelers playing down to competition because they have a notorious track record where, like, a team that on paper they should be better than, they just come out flat. They come out look like they don't prepare well. They have a track. Like, look, you can't, like, remember 2022.
If it's week 1, they can't play down to their competition. It's week 1.
They never underestimate their ability to play down to competition. They like look at that collapse at the end of the year. They had no business. They were like, look at that collapse at the end of the year. They had no business losing all those consecutive games, yet they did. So, like, don't be surprised. Don't underestimate their ability to underperform. I'm just saying that don't underestimate a team's ability to underperform.
Would you say people have underestimated you in this tournament?
No, I don't think anybody said that. But you know what? I will say this though.
I've said it. What do you have to say to me?
But the people underestimated me?
Yeah, I think people have underestimated you.
Well, I guess if you underestimate me, I guess you're in for a rude awakening.
Are you ready to take down the lane train in your region?
I'm ready for anything.
I'll tell you what, your matchup in the round of 32, you'll be facing Doug on the couch. How do you feel about that one?
it'll be an interesting matchup. We'll see, like I said earlier, may the better man win.
M. Morris wants to know, did you ever find the guy who stole your uniform?
No, I don't know. And I could care less. I got a replacement with no problem. So it's irrelevant to me.
Do they expense it?
It's on the company's dollar.
I see.
By the way, you know what? You should do a bet with you should do a bet with him and just be like, I think if Rodgers ends up on the Steelers, whichever team, if like I said, if Fields is better and the Jets perform better than you think they do, I think whoever loses the bet should do like flaming shots of overproof rum.
So you didn't really explain what the bet is. Like, which team is better in 2025, the Jets or the Steelers?
Yeah, you should challenge him. If he's so confident, then challenge him that. Oh, flaming shot. Loser does flaming shot.
Okay, so if the Jets, I mean, I want to lose the bet though. I want the Jets to be better than the Steelers. That means the Jets probably had a winning record.
I understand that.
Okay, I'm glad you understand.
Besides, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. You just remember not to have a beard when you do the flaming shots. You do not want, to set your beard on fire.
I see. Hey, before you go, hold on. I'm getting a live update from the campaign trail.
We now go live to our political expert, Vincent.
You engage and support a party that doesn't do jack shit. You want to see a real third party in action?
Helping us change the world. Thank you, VMan.
By the way, Hector, if you're harassed, maybe you should read this book and stop harassing me, because I see him harassing me in the chat. Do you recognize that flag, Hector?
Now, when Neil was the first caller today, the other guy who I was asked more about last night, besides Neil, is this guy online right now who might be sleeping. V-Man's up next. Hello, V-Man. Come on. V-Man, you up?
Yep. Sorry. Line is right. Line's freaking out. Sorry.
Stop. Yeah. Wow. You don't know it? Hector, you don't know this flag? When you call yourself a Puerto Rican, you don't know this fucking flag. You don't know this flag, Hector. This is the flag of the town of Lares, Puerto Rico. This was the original Puerto Rican flag before this one. This came before this. You don't know that. That's pathetic, Hector. Maybe you need Hector.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Bass, and Jake. Get it started, Gator.
Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake.
Well, Superchat's always cut the line.
And the Buelo dances really fine.
When she's trucking and back them jets.
My senorita, she gets real happy.
Real happy if that female that doesn't rhyme.
Hey, Gator, it's a family show.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake.
A little ode to V-Man on his big matchup day right now in Asmaniac Madness. V-Man didn't need those clips to help him win. He's up 81-19 right now. If you're a long-time listener, there was a time before Bobby Midnight, before Charles Corman, before Cheats Fan, before the Lane Train. There was just V-Man. And the OGs who've been around remember that well. Quick reminder before we get to your calls, this show's available in podcast form. So if you want to listen in audio form of the show, you can find that on either Apple Podcast and or Spotify. get your ticket to our draft party. Joe Mike is the most recent Asmaniac to buy a ticket. I saw he bought a ticket right before this show started. So appreciate you, Joe. Looking forward to seeing you in person. Let's say hello right now to June, the GM, who's up next on our show today. Hello, June.
Hey, this is a great book for all Puerto Ricans. This right here is an epic tale of the pain that the government has caused my Puerto Rican people. So, yeah, tell VMan, get up on that. By the way, I voted for VMan. He's Puerto Rican. You already know he got my vote. It's over. And VMan's epic. I mean, I never seen those clips. Like I said, I'm still rookie here. Incredible. My Final Four looks like. Final Four. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. He looks real strong right now.
He's in a tough region. I mean, look, V-Man's a 2 seed for a reason. If we get an Elite 8 of Lane versus V-Man.
I mean, I can see V-Man beating everybody there until at least the Elite 8.
He's going on a run. I'll tell you what, Bonesy could pick him off in the Sweet 16. Or even Chef Kevin could, too, if Chef Kevin beats Bonesy.
Chef Kevin's dangerous. He's dangerous. The chef. So, yeah, I could see that happening. Hey, Jake, I wanted to ask you something. Do you know what 1974 is?
Do I know what it is?
Yeah. Do you know what happened in 1974?
Joe Namath was in his last season with the Jets?
No. 1974 was the year that the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted 4 Hall of Famers in the first 5 picks. Now, why do I bring that up, Jake, right? You say, well, what the hell that has to do with anything, GM? Because that's the type of draft we're going to have ourselves this year to fix this hot mess of a team we're putting out on the field. No wide receivers, no tight end, no defensive line. How many starters are we going to draft in this upcoming draft to be competitive? Because I think we need at least 5. We need at least. When was the last time, Jake? Maybe you know more than me. When was the last time any team drafted at least 4 to 5 starters in 1 year? I don't remember, because right now we're looking bare, man. We're not looking good, man.
Yeah, I mean, I this team is not better than they were at the end of last year. Now they can be better record-wise, but how much better? I mean, the key for that is the coaching is great, and to your point, they don't need to draft 3 or 4 Hall of Famers. That'd be nice, but they need a really good draft. I mean, 7's got to be an impact player. If they stick and pick at 42 and 73, they got to be starters. Yeah.
All of them got to be starters. And Aaron Glenn, I'm a big fan of Aaron Glenn since I was young. I keep saying that. But he's going to have to be the next Tom Landry to coach up this team to get more than 6 wins. Because I'm not going to lie. I've been trying to be optimistic. But I heard Ryan, the guy you had on earlier, he said that, what if Justin Fields is the next Sam Darnold? We don't got the weaponry Minnesota has. We don't have Justin Jefferson. Love Wilson. He's not Justin Jefferson. We don't have Addison. We don't have the play calling that Minnesota has with that coach out there. I don't know, man. I'm more and more. I'm looking at the team. I'm not optimistic about anything more than 6 wins right now. I'm just being honest with you. I would love to overdo it and say playoffs 9 and 8. I don't see it. How?
So you're smelling 6 wins?
I mean, look at our team. Like I don't understand. So we're banking on Justin Fields becoming a precision passer suddenly. I get it. He can run the board. They're gonna stack the box. It's called people make adjustments. So they're gonna stack the box. He's gonna have to throw the rock. We need just think about the odds of us drafting 3 to 4 players who are gonna be starters, but good starters. We need a good number 2 receiver, not on a roster yet. We need a legitimately number 1 tight end now, due to the fact that we got no tight ends. And then we need a legitimate defensive tackle who can stop the run. We need 2 of them, actually, so we can rotate, because one dude's going to get tired. I don't know, Jake. I'm not trying to be like this angry Jet fan who's, how can I be optimistic, bro? After watching all these years of pain, from the Rich Cole Tights to the damn Adam Gases, I love Glenn, but man, he's gonna have to do one hell of a coaching job.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
I mean, that's it. It's they got to be one of the best coach teams in the league. They were in 06 when they came off a 4-win season with Mangini's first year. That's how he got the Mangini's name. They gotta be great along the margins. Like, you can't have any games that you lose because of your kicker this year. You can't have any games that you lose because you come out flat in the first quarter, like they did countless times under Robert Sala. they got to be as well coached of a team as they could be because there is enough talent to be better than the 5-win team they were. But like the Jets should not have been a 5-win team this past year. Their kicking situation cost them anywhere from 2 to 3 games conservatively.
Absolutely.
Like the way the defense collapsed. So, but it's not the same roster now. They're not as good roster wise unless they hit on all these picks in the drafts. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to.
You know what's confusing to me too? I don't. You should do a poll. Who's more hated, Shedeur Sanders or Aaron Rodgers? Because my God, like, I don't think people understand what an injury is like an Achilles. Achilles injuries have literally destroyed people's careers. Like, people have not made it back from Achilles injuries. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's Rodgers. The Rodgers discourse has fundamentally broken people's brains in this fan base. Like, it's wild to me. I'm not sitting there telling everyone he's great, he's going to be an MVP, but like the idea that Ryan thought I was nuts for suggesting that he's a top 15 quarterback in the league, which he is, and every stat he has is only in garbage time. Like the man threw the 3rd most amount of touchdowns in the history of the Jet franchise. I watched every snap. Like, was he great? No, but did he give the team more than did he give the team like opportunities to win way more than just 5 games? Absolutely.
Let's not forget the play calling wasn't exceptional. I mean, what if he had a half decent good play caller? My thing is this, man. Rodgers will always be one of my favorite quarterbacks. I was sad to see him go, but the hate on Aaron Rodgers to say he's going to get hit and go down the man also played 17 games. Coming back off an Achilles, that's the Iron Man. I don't want to hear nothing. Aaron Rodgers showed up 17 games off an Achilles. If that Achilles is healed up, call me. You can say this is a crazy take. And in fact, I will ban myself for a month off all social media. But if Aaron Rodgers is healthy going into Pitt, please, I'm telling you, they're winning at least 10 games with Aaron Rodgers. They're going to make the playoffs easily. And they're going to be a threat.
They do every year. But I think they're more of a threat now to actually
Absolutely.
win a playoff game with Rodgers.
You know what I heard somebody say? That they don't stand a chance even with Rodgers. And I was saying to myself, what? Are they a healthy Aaron Rodgers with those 2 weapons out there? With a halfway decent running game and Mike Tomlin calling play? What? They're a threat. They're a threat to go all the way with Aaron Rodgers. The threat that we should have been last year. But, us Jet fans, we're hurting. Some of us are a little off because to say that Aaron Rodgers is a bum or to say that he was a terror, it's crazy when you look at the numbers he put up compared to all the other quarterbacks we had before him. It's ridiculous, man. It's just bad takes, man, over and over again.
Yeah, look, hopefully, I don't think Fields is better, but Fields, if they maximize his skill set, can help lead a competent offense. They gotta be the number 1 team in rushing this year. Like, Breece Hall in a contract year has got to prove why I thought he'd be a safe pick to draft number 1 in fantasy a year ago. Like, that's the type of year they need from him. They need to have a real plan to run the football effectively because, their scheme was trash, man. Like, I got into it with Ryan at the beginning of the show. He's like, oh, they couldn't run the ball. He checked out of all the runs. It's like, if you watch, they tried to establish the run in all these games. They couldn't do it. They were like the least efficient running team in the league last year. They were horrendous. They were horrendous at running the ball.
There were times that I remember watching games that we are legitimately running 3 back-to-back plays right up the middle. Like crazy stuff and not being effective. No, that's called somebody who's not paying attention. I'm sorry, no disrespect, man, but no, I'm telling you right now, I just don't understand. Somebody has to help me. How do we plug in these holes we have? Like, no tight ends, no receiver depth, no defensive line depth. I mean, what's happening? I don't know how anybody can be optimistic. I'm not trying to bring us down, guys. I'm a diehard Jets fan. By the way, my Tar Heels are getting their ass spanked. That's why I had to jump on ASAP. I'm hurting with that already. But just anybody.
Can you be that upset about the Tar Heels though, June? Like, you guys were lucky to get in the tournament. You won a game.
No, yeah, but I'm a Tar Heel fan. I'm a Tar Heel fan. So I'm like, if we're gonna go, might as well show up and not get blown out by 20 at halftime.
I get it.
We're gonna go show up.
It's not over yet, though. There's still 14 minutes left.
It's over, man. That head coach is a bum. Davis is a bum. I've been he got a top 10 draft class coming in. That's why they're keeping him. But I don't like him as a coach. I don't never like him. But yeah, I just don't know how we can be optimistic. I can't wait for the draft. I can't wait for the draft party, by the way.
We'll see you there, June.
Live in full effect. But I can't wait to see who we draft.
June, I'm excited for you, man. And look, hang in there. It will be okay, all right? You'll be all right. Sounds good, June. Hang in there, buddy. More of your calls coming up. We quickly pause. This ad is brought to you by JJ over Big Fella.
I've given this show so much, even when on vacation. Italia! What more do they want from me?
More calls right here. Ladies and gentlemen, an arch nemesis of the show is on the line. What will he complain about today? We say hello to JJ. Hello, JJ.
I just wanted to call in. So yesterday I went to the game, and right after I had to catch a flight. I'm in the beautiful, can you guess what country this is?
It's a European country. You're in Europe? Italy?
Italia! And I'm wearing my Mets shirt, so let's go Mets and let's go Jets in Italy. All right, guys, peace.
All right, JJ, have a great vacation, man.
He's back! Amazing. I have an announcement to make, too, from Gator. Effective immediately, Gator is no longer helping anyone with campaign videos. So if you want a video done, you got to make it on your own. Like what we saw JJ just do and what we've seen Jet Shiny do. The reason for that is he doesn't want to influence the tournament with votes. So earlier we played you the final campaign video that Gator made. It was the Vote for Bobby sexy dance video. I'm going to play that video again, but you'll notice the Vote for Bobby has been removed because effective immediately, there are no more campaign videos. It is now on you to go out there and present your case for why this community should vote for you in your matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now, but first we play this.
Thank you, Gator. That was awesome. I like that.
We'll get back to Bobby Midnight in a moment. A super chat here from the Rick Kent. 5 raffle entries for Rick Kent. June asked, when was the last time the Jets drafted 4 starters in one draft? 2022. They drafted Sauce Garrett, Jermaine, and Brees, all starters. Don't know that it will happen this year, but it has happened recently. For what it's worth, I don't think Jermaine technically started as a rookie. Neither did Garrett right away. And then he obviously by week 2 did. Yeah, 100% Rick. I mean, look, that's a historic draft, but they got to hit on their first 3 picks. Like, they're 3 picks in the top 73. They got to hit on them. Based on how they have built the roster, those are 3 starters right now. They don't have a tight end, a wide receiver, DT, DN. Like, those guys are starting. Ryan says they drafted 5. Tippmann was that draft too. Now, Tippmann was the following year. He was in the Will McDonald draft. He was their second-round pick. Pick 43, if I remember correctly, or 42. J-Quest says, interesting video for sure. Are you worried that Bobby's man-boob dancing and motorboating will cost you in your matchup, J-Quest, against him? Let's check in with Mr. Bobby Midnight. Bobby, do you think you have enough gravitas now to take down Jake?
I hope so. I just thought that would be funny to do, and I'm sure thank you, Gabe, for doing it. I like the disco balls. Do you?
You're the final campaign video he made.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
What else is on your mind? Anything?
Yes, a week before your draft party, I got an appointment to see that person they called today for my job thing.
We're going to be waiting another month for this job situation?
They called me up for a month. That's what I just got the phone today.
What job is this? You can't get a job between now and April 20.
Well, I'm going to try to get a job with the Hilton tomorrow.
Oh, you better get a job. You know who's going to be on your ass.
Yeah, Dave Berg, I know.
He thinks that Charles and Bobby need to get a job. This cowboy hates to see Asmaniacs complain. What he call him, one-punch breeder. You need to get a job. What he call him, one-punch breeder. The beast is on his ass. Call him one-punch breeder. Has anyone seen VMan? Call him one-punch breeder. You only need one.
Yeah, that's a good song. But no, that's what the lady called me today, and that's what she has. She does a lot of other people. That's why.
So do you get a job on the day that she calls you back? Like, how does it work?
Well, I hope so. No, I have to go see her at the place where I went.
And you're not seeing her until April 15th?
17th. Oh,
wow.
My God. I know, but
there's got to be a way to get you a job before then.
Tomorrow, I got to call up Hilton, call the hiring manager. He's in tomorrow at 2:00.
Are you speaking with Paris directly?
Paris? No, it's not Paris. I don't know the guy's name. No, so
not
that's
Paris.
a job I want. I like getting up early in the morning and getting there early. I'll be there.
Sean says Bobby can't even walk up 2 flights of stairs, and you want him to work. Bobby, tell him that's not true.
Hey, Sean, I lost a lot of weight, so thank you very much.
Nick says you should just dance full time. Have you thought about being a male stripper full time?
My God, at least my man boobs are going down. Remember how big they were?
Oh, yeah.
Christmas. Oh, you got the Christmas one, right? When I'm in the Globe.
Kevin writes in, I bet I'll lose my virginity before Bobby gets a job.
Oh, congratulations. I hope you do, too. I hope you do. Okay.
Now, Kevin, give us some background info here. What is the scenario for you? We got prom coming up. Are we a youngster? Are we
you
Steve
sound like
Carell
a
and the
young
40-year-old
kid.
virgin? I just am trying to get an age range here, you know?
I know.
Then I could properly
I think
handicap the odds that he loses his virginity before you get a job.
I think he's young. I think he's a young kid. That's what I say.
Nick Shine says Kevin's 37.
All right, that's younger than me. I'm 56. He must know Kevin, though. He knows a lot of people.
I'm just trying to get some info here. Let's see.
7.
Ralphie writes in, we have one punch Brigga and now no job Bobby.
Yeah, I know. Okay, Ralphie, chill. Take a chill pill.
Jeffrey's been singing the One Punch Brigga song in the shower.
Oh, that's good. I hope you get excited over that.
What do you mean by excited?
I hope he gets his tingles in there, okay?
Tingles?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It sounds like he does.
Mr. Business says, not even fun to watch anymore. What's not? The show? The Dave Brigga video?
No,
Bobby dancing?
I think he's talking about the Dave Burger. Yeah, that's what I think.
Sarah writes in, I love Bobby Midnight.
I love you too, Sarah.
Do you love her more than Hawk?
I like Hawk too.
Nick Sean writes in, Gator needs a video. They call me No Job Bob.
Yeah, I know, right?
Come on, man.
No, they do.
Dave Brigga has written in. He goes, don't diss Bobby's ambition.
Thank you very much, Dave Burger, for saying enough for me. I appreciate that. The ambition means to get a job, right?
Kevin is 37. He lives in his mom's basement. Do you think he loses his virginity before you get a job?
I doubt it. If you live in your mom's basement, you probably have something else you do at nighttime. So we won't tell you what you do at nighttime. So
what do you think he does at nighttime?
Oh, no, come on.
What does living in a basement have to do with doing something at nighttime?
He's 37 years old. Come on, you know what he does.
I don't know what he watches TV.
No, he watches TV stuff on there and he, strokes it. Okay, that's all right.
Whoa! I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a family show. That's right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Clean. I'm trying to be clean about it. So.
Trying.
Because
he plays Yu-Gi-Oh?
That guy was very rude to you today.
Which guy? My guest?
Yes, he was yelling at you. I got a migraine headache from him. He should be yelling at you.
I mean, he's passionate. We got into it.
Yeah, but I'm on your side. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And he's a post writer or something. He writes
He
for
does
the Post.
he does digital stuff for the Post. He does the Jet podcast for them.
Oh, well. I like Newsday better than the Post. Well, I do like the Post for this sports, but
Leon writes in, Bobby criticizing Jake earlier this week and ending up being wrong about Gorman's ass wiping was hilarious.
I know. Well,
do you feel betrayed by Charles?
Nah.
No.
I really know what he was doing. Addison wasn't paying attention. I didn't really hear him. I thought it was hilarious.
Johnny Boy writes in, Bobby is the V Slayer. Vote for Johnny Boy.
Oh, you know what that is. Can't say that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Well, you don't like you say you don't like to say that other person's name. Assassin. Can't say that.
The P word assassin?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, you know the P word. Yeah.
Thunderlips writes in, watch these rap briggers get all up in your guts. French vanilla, butter pecan, chocolate deluxe.
Yeah, that's funny, Thunderlips. I appreciate that one. That's good.
Do they still call you
Anybody
Poon
else?
Slayer Bobby? Barbarossa wants to know.
Well, that's what what's his name called me. Johnny Boy.
Yeah, Thunderlips. How drunk are you, by the way? It's Friday. We know Thunderlips likes to have a couple cocktails and cold ones when he gets
He
off work.
said he wasn't gonna drink today because he has to wake up early tomorrow morning. So why do you think he's drinking today?
Kyle writes in, Bobby won't get a job at a hotel or restaurant looking the way he does these days. College grads are going for those jobs, and he has no chance. Sorry.
Well, thank you for your 2 cents. I don't need it from the peanut gallery. Thank you.
Well, wait a second, Kyle. Bobby, how much weight have you lost?
I gained 3 pounds this week. So
Yeah, but still, overall, you're down how many pounds?
let's see, what was it? 40, what was it? 41 pounds.
Yeah, so I would say you've never been in a better situation than you are right now.
Yeah. Well, that's why I didn't want to hear anything from the peanut gallery. I love those disco balls, do you? That makes it good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this disco balls.
I'm hitting Studio 54 tonight, trying to do some of those dance moves.
Oh, I wish that's closed now, isn't it?
No, they opened it up for just tonight. They were inspired by you.
I saw the movie Studio 54. I forgot who was in that movie. It was pretty
Scott
good.
writes in, maybe Kevin can meet Bobby's babysitter. Hey, now.
Yeah, damn it. She's a freaking old lady now who wants to teach that piece of garbage. I don't think she would like that.
Roseanne says, Bobby throwing it back. Everybody watch out.
Oh, thank you, Roseanne.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad he called in. Let's squash this beef once and for all. Let's get everyone on the same page. For the first time, we have Bobby Midnight and the ass wiper on the screen at the same time.
Charles, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm just working my ass right now.
Okay, that's fine. I don't have anything against Charles. I don't know what's going on here.
Charles, can you acknowledge that you basically misled Bobby Midnight and made him look bad on my show?
My apologies, Bobby. I didn't mean to make you look bad. My apologies.
First of all, I didn't even know what you were saying. I just said, okay, Charles. That's all I did. I really didn't hear anything you said, sir. But
We're all good, Bobby. Don't worry about it.
We're all good. Yes, we are. Definitely all good.
How you feeling, Bobby?
I'm feeling great. Do you see my dance? I was dancing good.
That's great, Bobby. That's great. How are you doing on your, I was going to say weight loss program, but how well are you doing in that?
I lost 41 pounds.
Huh?
I lost 41 pounds.
God bless you, Bobby. God bless you.
Oh, thank you. God bless you, too.
I just, Showed my mom my new apartment complex. She really likes it.
Whoa!
Oh, you got a new apartment already?
Yeah, well, I should say apartment, my new apartment, where I'll be moving out on my own for the first time since I went to college.
When's the moving?
Congratulations. Where is it? You in there now?
I'm like 10 minutes away from my house, so.
Oh, okay. You're not in it now.
Do you have a car, Charles? How are you going to get around?
I take Uber, you know.
Is your apartment in an area that is like near like a grocery store, like being able to walk the stuff that you need?
Oh, are you there?
Charles? Chuck?
I think he froze.
Charles? What's up with his mustache?
You said it looks good. Didn't you say it looked good?
Yeah, but it looks like it needs to be like brushed.
I don't know.
Gary, would you say his mustache needs to be brushed?
Hi, Gary.
Yeah. I mean, like that's like the worst still frame I've ever seen. Like that would be like the worst driver's license picture ever. Like
yeah, mine is even worse.
That's not a flattering picture, Chuck.
Mine is even worse.
Can we call him
Gary,
Chaz? Chaz is a better nickname for Charles than Chuck. Can we go with Chaz?
Gary, how you like my dancing?
It's pretty good, Bobby. It's pretty good.
Man, I think we just lost Charles. Hold on. He's back. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do right now on the show is something I've wanted to long do.
What?
You ready for this, Bobby?
Yes, definitely.
It's called the old switcheroo.
Oh. How you guys doing? Yeah, sorry about that. With my family right now.
Yeah, that's fine. How's mom doing? Good.
Charles, let's hear more
My
about
mom's
your
doing
apartment.
wonderful. My father's doing good. Everyone's doing good.
Well, we're happy for you.
Hold on, Bobby. Let me take over for a moment. How are you going to be able to get to like key things in your area without a car? You buy a grocery store, you buy
Uber and walking.
So are you walking distance? I'm saying to some of these places.
Or I can go shopping with my family. I was just going to say that. Thank you, Mom.
All right. I love that.
Nice, Mom.
When's the housewarming party?
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have a housewarming party, but
I got to broadcast the show from the new Gorman estate.
I don't know about that, Jake. Listen, I just want to say hi, see how things are going. I'm with my family right now. We're trying to have dinner.
All right.
What's for dinner? Steady Eddie.
Oh, Steady Eddie.
Right here.
Trying to end the conversation.
I think they're at a restaurant, are they? Are you at a restaurant?
Have a good day, guys, okay? Bye-bye.
Charles, you have a great meal, all right? He's gone.
I think they're at a restaurant.
No, I think they're in prison.
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies and sports and video games and maybe hot chicks.
Why would Charles call into this show and then leave? Just call in after dinner. Anyway, let me rapid fire through a couple people on hold here. Kyle Clifton and then the big fella are the next two. What's up, Kyle?
This has been a wild show as usual.
It went from super serious to whatever the last 15 minutes have been.
Yeah, you know what Aaron Rodgers would have said when in the middle of that argument earlier on? He would have said, relax. So, yeah, I mean, the one thing I'll say about Ryan's argument, right? Like, Aaron Rodgers didn't have 3 full years here. He had 2 seasons. He had 4 plays in the first season. He went down. You had to see the experiment to completion. You had to see if it would ever work with him. Once you decided that it wasn't going to work with him, then it was time to move on. I understand that it's tempting for us to want to see Rodgers in a third year, second year off the Achilles, in a new system that might be a little more innovative, but you can't tie the new regime to that. We can't go through our lives being afraid that he's going to come and beat us on opening night, at MetLife in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform.
I'm not afraid of it. I'm expecting it. So I'd be pleasantly surprised if they win that game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe their defense will start to decline a little bit like ours did.
I hope they stink. I just, I just feel like it's unlikely with Tom on there.
Yeah, but I mean, to think that we have to score, Hall of Famers in this draft, we need to take down value and fill holes, right? And this is a good draft for us to do it with defensive tackle being a need, with tight end being a need, and then just opportunistically fill out wide receiver, offensive tackle. There are plenty of holes to fill, and we probably won't be able to fill them all, but we can fill enough to be competitive in 2025. I don't think that 7 or 8 wins are out of the question. And that would be, it'd be all right. Glenn is kind of shooting himself in the foot by saying we expect to win right now. He should be saying we expect to be competitive. There's talent on this team. And then, just kind of go from there. I want to see how the field experiment plays out. I want to see how the new scheme plays out. I want to see if we're going to be using 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. I want to see all this stuff. And until we kind of get a feel about how it's going to look on offense, I feel like the defense will be better. We'll be able to plug 1 or 2 holes. We'll be a little bit more opportunistic. We'll blitz more.
Yep.
We'll take the ball away more. It's just a matter of, will the offense gel at all in year 1 and give us some hope for the future? Thanks, Jake.
100%. I don't think they need Hall of Famers either. That'd be nice, Kyle. You're right. They got to come up with 3 legit starters, though. Now, I guess it doesn't need to be like in that order. Like, if you draft a bust at pick 42, but you hit on your 5th round pick, like, obviously you look back on the totality of the draft class in a couple of years, but like, you got 3 picks in the top 73. They got to be impact players. Because that's how you built your team. You built your team to basically fill starters in the draft. Nick Shine writes in, tell Mrs. Gorman I can't wait to see them Sunday. Should I bring pastries? Any good allergies? Charles, Nick Shine is officially coming over on Sunday to have the meeting with the Gormans. If it goes well, Charles Gorman will be officially locked in to attend our draft party. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Gorman has called back in. Are you kidding me? Ladies and gentlemen, hit the Gorman music.
Hey, Charles! You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. Hey, Charles! I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. Give me some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Sing it this way, Charles!
Big Shine said he had a question for me.
Yes. Are there any food allergies in the Gorman clan?
My dad is allergic to almonds right now.
Okay, so no nuts.
I'm sorry, not almonds. I'm sorry to. My dad has a bit of a nut allergy, but not like super allergic.
I have a nut allergy as well.
As for my mother, I do not know. As for my brother, I do not know either.
What about your grandma?
I don't know either.
Now,
I don't really have any food allergies.
When it comes to Charles, when it comes to the nut allergy, is it all nuts like peanuts?
So my dad can eat peanuts. He can eat almonds. He can eat walnuts. He can eat pistachios. He can eat tree nuts. Yes.
What about these nuts?
Very funny. Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
These nuts.
Jquest says, congrats, Charles. 1 seed showing why he's a 1 seed. Do you feel like your calls have hit their stride at the right time, Charles? I mean, the round of 32 does start tomorrow. You're in it.
Maybe, maybe not. But look, I'm got to go back in. My family, we're going to have dinner soon. So it was good talking with you guys again.
Where are you eating, Charles?
At Rocco's in Avenel.
Rocco's?
Yes.
How much is that one going to cost me?
My dad's paying for it. Stop it. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye, Charles. Have a great dinner with Dennis and the clan, the Gormans, the Gorman crew. Charles just leaves so quick. I can't even play him out properly.
I think the second one. Excuse me.
All right. Big fella's next. Hey, big fella.
Hey man, yo, I got a question for you. Are we just posting? Are we just playing anything JJ sends in on the show, bro?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I watch it first to make sure I can't get in trouble for playing it. But
let me show. I'll reenact it. Ready? Watch this.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Guess where I am? Guess where I am, everybody? I'm in my fucking basement. That's where I am. Listen, what the hell does that have to do with being a fan of the show or anything? I'm back. So, anyway, that's what I got with that. It seems like anything you send.
I've given this show so much, even when on vacation. Italia! What more do they want from me?
More calls right here. Ladies and gentlemen, an arch nemesis of the show is on the line. What will he complain about today? We say hello to JJ. Hello, JJ.
I just wanted to call in. So yesterday I went to the game, and right after I had to catch a flight. I'm in the beautiful... Can you guess what country this is?
It's a European country. You're in Europe? Italy?
Italia! And I'm wearing my Mets shirt, so let's go Mets and let's go Jets in Italy. All right, guys, peace.
All right, JJ, have a great vacation, man.
He's back! Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What the hell does that have to do with anything? Honestly. I mean, it's crazy. And then people are like, oh, JJ's so great. What has he done for the community, bro? Honestly.
This is gonna be such a good matchup.
Yeah, half the people in the chat right now have a freaking membership because of me at one point or another.
It's a great point. We know JJ's very frugal.
It's crazy, man. It's like, if I have to hear he's back one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to put him into retirement. That's it. This is crazy. I tried to be nice and everything the whole time. JJ, call in. I'm sure you're listening. Call in. Because these videos are friggin' stupid, bro.
Gary wrote it. Well, I'm sold. I'm voting for JJ. Let's talk to someone who's voting against you and try and go inside their brain and figure out why.
If we're going inside Gary's brain, I don't know. I'm gonna need a freaking roadmap because
Gary, why are you voting for JJ over the big fella?
It wasn't necessarily an anti-big fella vote until you just said vote for me because I give people free stuff. What are you, the welfare candidate? Vote for me, free stuff.
Pretty much.
That's why I'm not voting for you.
No, you're not voting for me because
on their own.
Because you already told me that you're going to vote for JJ because you're with the heel gang with Alan and JJ. It's fine. I told you when you asked me why should you vote for me, I said don't vote for me. I said that.
Disagree? Yeah, you did. You said don't vote for you, so I won't. I'll vote for JJ.
Good. I'm happy about that. Don't vote for me. I don't want your vote.
He doesn't believe in achievement, big fella. You don't need his vote.
What kind of candidate is this? What kind of welfare candidate is this? I don't want your vote, and then vote for me, free stuff.
I didn't say. Did I say vote for me? No, I said this is crazy. JJ sends out stuff. Okay, all this stuff then has nothing to do with the community. Has nothing to do with the Jets. As him on the friggin' on a balcony in Italy. What does that have to do with anything?
Well, he did wear a Revis jersey in one of the photos.
What's wrong with Italy? What's wrong with Italy, big fella?
Nothing. I mean, I hear they like chicken and pasta over there.
They do not. I'm a first generation Italian. My mom is from Italy. What's wrong with Italy?
Did I say anything's wrong with Italy?
You inferred it.
I didn't infer anything. Speaking of inferring, you infer so much stuff. You should not be calling me out on inferring anything.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
You're the one who always Gary, you're the one who always has to push the burden on other people to try and come up with something.
When someone
when it's actually you're the one who is in question.
I'm not in question. I didn't make it clear. Big fella, if I said yesterday I went to Mars, do you have to prove I didn't go to Mars, or do I have to prove that I went there?
If you don't believe it, but yet everyone else believes it and everyone else thinks they went there, then you have to prove it.
All types
you
of
have
stuff.
to prove it.
Everyone believes all types of stuff. Remember COVID?
Oh, okay.
You can tell them anything, they believe it. Like,
Gary,
people believe all types of stuff.
I understand, being devil's advocate. I understand being, in that mindset. But when it's pretty much well known that, yeah, people went to the moon, and you're saying, they didn't, and then you push the burden on other people, it's up to you to put the
No,
that's
it's
up
not.
to you.
I don't make the claim. The burden in logic, the burden is on the claimant. If you
The
make
burden
a claim,
is
on the claimant always. Doesn't if I say 2 + 2 is 4, you better have some coconuts. You better make sure there's at least 4 to be able to.
Gary,
prove it.
you claim that they didn't go, so the burden's on you.
No,
Other people think that
I
they
didn't
went.
claim that. I said I think that's fake. I said the evidence of Neil Armstrong and Buzz walking on the moon. I think that's fake. And they don't have the evidence to get
Then
a
prove
conviction in
it.
court.
Then prove that they didn't.
I can't prove that they didn't. You're asking
Well, there
me
you
to
go.
You're asking me to look at this is how logic works, big fella. You're asking me to look at the evidence and conclude whether or not people walked on the moon. There is clearly insufficient evidence to suggest people walked on the moon. Just the 2 intersecting shadows means that there's a fake light on the moon. That's not sunlight. Shadows always run parallel. Always. They'll run parallel forever. How do they have intersecting shadows on the moon? It's obviously a camera. It's obviously fake. Right? I mean, it's just so obvious that it's fake. I just did. That would hold up in a court of law.
Prove it. Prove it was a camera. Prove it was a camera.
Prove it by what standard? By what?
Prove it as a camera.
When you say prove,
what? Prove that they used the camera.
It's not my burden.
You can't.
I didn't say I
the
could.
burden's
I
on you, Gary. It's not on me.
There's no burden on me. You don't understand how logic works. If I said I went to Mars yesterday, I have to prove I went to Mars. You don't have to sit there and prove I didn't go to Mars.
Gary,
I went to Mars yesterday. Do you believe me?
In Garyland, this logic thing,
this is amazing. You're an adult. You're 50 years old, and you don't understand how logic works and how to make an argument. It's amazing how you made it to adulthood. Like, it really is. You never, thought about thinking? Like,
Gary,
if you make a claim, I don't have to prove it. You do.
No, Gary, you do.
Okay, then
because you're the one who's disagreeing with societal norms.
It doesn't matter if I disagree with society. You made the claim. You prove it. It's not mine. You have no idea. It's amazing, big fella.
It's amazing.
I feel bad for you for an extent that you made it to adulthood thinking that's logic.
Please do.
In
Please
logic,
feel bad for me.
The burden of proof is on the claimant. Always.
Please do. You make great choices with your basketball team, too.
If you get caught murdering people in the middle of Times Square and there are 5,000 witnesses, they still have to prove it. You don't have to disprove anything. They have to prove their case. No, it should
Gary,
be relatively
hypothetical
easy.
situations that you put up are ridiculous.
No, it should be. If there's that much evidence, just present the evidence. Just present it. That's all I'm asking for, and no one could do it.
Gary,
so if you have no evidence, why would I
you
believe
have to
it?
prove that they didn't.
I don't have to prove anything. It's not my claim.
You
I
just
didn't claim
claimed
I
it.
went to the moon.
What are
I
you
didn't claim
talking
anything.
about?
I said I think it's fake. You want me to prove I think it's
you
fake?
think it's fake? I don't.
Okay, good for you. What makes you think it's real? That's all I'm asking is what makes you think it's that people walked on the moon?
Okay.
What makes you think that?
Okay. The whole friggin' the rocket launch. I wasn't alive for it back then, so I didn't see it. I'll take Dave Brigger's word for it. The whole rocket launch, the coming back, if
you launch a rocket, that means you went to the moon. That means you went to the moon.
They launched it for no reason, Gary. You're right.
That's not okay.
You're right.
I'm asking you a question. So if you
Gary,
launch a
you're right.
rocket, that means you walked on the moon.
Gary, you're right.
No, I'm asking you a question.
No, you're 100% right. Because you're not.
I didn't make a claim.
So you're 100%
you really don't
right.
understand how logic works. You're claiming
100%.
that if
You're right,
you
Gary.
launch
I
a
don't know
rocket,
anything about logic.
Clearly you don't. It's like
right.
clearly you never thought about thinking.
Keep going.
If you launch a rocket, that means you went to the moon.
Keep going.
See?
Keep going. Keep talking shit. Gary,
you
are talking
about
shit,
your
Gary.
claim. I'm asking you a question
Gary,
about your claim.
you're the one who has to provide the proof.
Prove anything. I didn't make a claim. If you claim
You
people
did.
walk on the moon, that's your claim.
You made the claim. You made the claim
What claim did I make?
that people didn't walk on the moon.
That's not what I said. I said I don't believe that claim. I said I don't know if anyone walked on the moon. I don't see any evidence to suggest that they did.
Now you're walking around the whole issue.
Anything. That's always been my claim.
You're walking around the
I don't
issue.
know what everyone's ever done in their whole life. Do I think that claim is true? No, that claim seems to be fake. I think it's fake. Do you have any evidence
Okay,
to support
prove that
claim?
the claim is fake then.
I didn't say it was. I said I think it's fake. I don't think there's enough
Okay,
evidence to convince.
I think it's real. So there.
Good for you. What evidence do you have?
What evidence do you have? You have the
I
camera
asked you a
thing,
question,
which you
sir.
don't know what
I
the camera
asked you
came
a
from.
question. Can you
You don't
answer
know
my
anything
question?
about that. You don't know if
Can
there
you
was a
answer the
sound
question?
stage or anything like that.
Awesome.
You don't
You're not
know. So
gonna
you
answer-
believe it, and I believe the other. So there you go.
So you have no evidence to suggest
There
that
you
it happened,
go.
right? Do you have any evidence to suggest that it happened?
I had the evidence of the astronaut saying that it was real.
Okay, so if someone says they did something, then therefore it's true.
Gary, it was first of all.
Okay, it's
First
yes,
of all,
Big fella. It's
I'm
yes
not
or-
going to do this yes
and then
or no
we can,
shit,
and then
Gary.
we can do a soliloquy afterwards. Yes or no?
No.
Something is true because
Gary,
someone
you're not
said
a
it's true.
prosecutor. I'm not dealing with that.
But we're having a conversation here.
No,
Like,
we're not having a conversation.
when
The conversation
he asks
is
me a
you
question,
trying to
he
steamroll
answers
into
the
someone
question,
else
and
believing
then
what you're
after
saying,
he
and that's
answers the
BS.
question, can ask a counter question. Okay, so I
Here we
asked
go
you a
with the.
question
Here we go with the.
about your claim. You said
Gary, this isn't a
you
court
believe
case
it's
between me and
true
you.
because someone said it's true.
This
So,
is not a court case between me
something
and you.
is
You don't
true.
pull this yes or no
something
crap.
is true simply because someone says it's true. So anything. So okay.
I
So
will take.
said-
I will take their word for it until I am proven wrong.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if I said I went to the moon, you believe that I went to the moon?
Gary, did you fly up on a rocket?
I did not fly up on a rocket. Now
Well,
I
there
got a
you go.
counter question for you. I got a counter question for you. Do you believe that I went to Mars?
Huh?
Okay.
Mars.
Time. Go to your corners. Okay, big fella. I like you're throwing some heavy hits. Okay. All right. Now to you two. Okay, this is round 2. Let's get it on. Ring the bell.
So do you believe that I went to Mars?
Gary, if you didn't fly up on a rocket and
It's
had the
yes or
opportunity to
no.
go there,
Do
then
you
no.
believe that I went to Mars?
Gary, I just explained
Yes
that.
or no, big fella? It's
I'm not
a
doing this
soliloquy.
yes or
It's a
no
yes.
shit.
See,
You have to listen.
Because
You have
you
to
don't believe your
listen.
own argument. You
How is
answer
that?
because it's
Oh my God. So you're
entire
comparing yourself
argument
to
is, I
astronauts.
believe them because they said so. Well, I said I went to Mars. Therefore, you must believe me by that same standard.
Gary, you're comparing
but now
yourself
you've
to
committed a
astronauts.
logical foul.
Astronauts. Think about it.
Yeah, I'm an astronaut. I'm an astronaut.
I could tell you're an astronaut.
I'm an
bro.
astronaut. I went to Mars. I'm an astronaut.
Yeah, I guess so.
See how circular that gets, big fella? I'm an astronaut because I went to Mars. So did I go to
you were
Mars
part of the
because I'm an
space
astronaut?
program back in the 60s.
No,
You
I
were,
went to Mars. I went to Mars yesterday. I went to Mars yesterday.
That's great.
So you believe me, right?
You're making no sense. You were making zero sense.
I claimed I went to Mars. Therefore, you believe me, correct?
You don't have stuff backing up
I said
your
I
claim.
went. It's yes or no, big fella. This is not a
There's no
soliloquy.
yes or no,
It's yes
Gary.
or no.
There's no yes or
You believe
no.
me because I claimed it.
I'm not going to
Because
argue with
that's
you like that.
Because
There's no
you
yes
can't
or
answer
no.
these
You're
simple
not.
questions because you don't
You are
actually
not
believe your
the
own.
prosecutor.
You don't
You're not
actually
the one
believe your own.
who's
position.
trying to, steer the conversation. You do this all the time. You try and steer
Because
people
you can't
to.
answer a straightforward question. What's 2
I
plus 2? My
did.
favorite
How
color
much-
is tangerine.
This is
Okay, what's 2
ridiculous.
plus 2? I like birthday cake. That's not what I asked you.
And I told you, and it's not a yes or no.
You know, it is a yes or no.
Wait,
Either
wait,
you
wait,
believe
It is
me
not
or
a
you
yes
don't
or
that I
no.
went to the. I
Wait,
went to Mars.
You're not a
wait.
freaking
Hold on,
astronaut.
guys. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm an astronaut. I went to Mars.
Hold on. Wait, Gary, wait.
I'm an astronaut. I went to Mars.
Gary, I have one question.
Go ahead.
One
DBM.
question. All right. So, with the testing of lunar rock between all the Five Eyes, so that's Britain, U.S., New Zealand, Canada, and the others, they all determined, based on the distance of the moon, the temperature, that rocks that they got were real. So how do you explain that
How would
that's
you?
fake?
Okay, so we already know that we gave a fake rock to the Dutch. It was made of petrified wood. So unless there's,
So that
let
wasn't
me
an-
answer
that
you.
wasn't
If you
an
ask me a
acid
question, you
mistake,
have to
though.
let me answer the question. If you ask me a question, you have to let me answer it. We
Yes
already
or
know
no,
Buzz,
Gary? Yes or no?
Buzz Aldrin
Yes or
went
no,
to the
Gary?
moon
Yes or no?
and got a rock and
Yes
said,
or no?
"This is the rock I'm
Yes
going
or no,
to give to
Gary?
the Dutch
Yes
from
or
the
no?
moon." He took the rock and gave it to the Dutch. They tested
that's
it.
not
It was
what
made
happened,
of
Gary.
petrified
But
wood.
Gary, that's
so we
not what he's
already
asking.
know
Yes
that
or
they
no,
gave fake
Gary?
rocks.
But
Well,
that's not what
the basis
happened,
of your
Gary.
question is fallacious. It's a fallacious
Gary,
question.
Yes or
that's
no,
not what
We already
Gary?
know
Yes
they
or
gave
no?
fake rocks.
That wasn't
It's a fallacious question.
the rock mistake with the wood. So
There's no mistake. There's no mistake.
So they
Buzz
had
Aldrin
rocks.
took that rock. Yeah, he says, I took that rock. No, I'm sorry. Neil Armstrong said, I took that rock from the moon because I saw it and I thought it would grow great with the Dutch. So I took that rock and gave it to the Dutch. That
So
rock
they had
was made
rocks,
of petrified wood.
They had rocks in storage, and they
And they
also
made
had
together, right?
wood
They
in
took two
storage,
rocks
and they had a
and the
whole
rocks-
lot of shit in storage.
So, okay, I
And
want to
then
understand your
someone
argument.
took it
I
and
want
said,
to
"Oh, this
understand your
must have
argument.
been it," and gave it.
They had a
Then,
box of
after they realized, they gave them the
And-
real shit after, because it wasn't a NASA
Like,
mistake.
afterwards.
That was a
Afterwards.
government employee
Afterwards.
mistake.
Okay, I've not
Gary,
seen that.
prove it. Prove the verdict.
I just did.
Now you
He
have to
tested
prove
it. It was petrified
Now you
wood.
have to prove
The rock was made of
because
petrified
you're
wood.
full of shit.
It was petrified.
You don't
wood.
even
They
make
made a
sense. This is
mistake,
incoherent.
and then
I'm
they
going to have a
gave it
big boy
back.
conversation with PBM, Mike. Thank you for your time, big fella. You've been fantastic. I'm going to have a big boy conversation with PBM. So the rock made of petrified wood that we gave to him. They had boxes of rock. One came from a petrified forest, and one came from the moon. And your argument is like they mixed them together? And that was right after they accidentally deleted all the telemetry data?
Stuff. There was diamonds in there. There was all kinds of shit there.
And they just
very
mixed it together with the moon
unorganized.
rocks. They just mixed them all together.
Well, they put it in the National Archives, so they mixed all kinds of shit together. One
The
thing
moon rocks that
worked.
they got from the moon. And
Yes.
that seems like a real argument to you.
But
That
dude,
seems
I work
legitimate
for the
to you.
government.
We took the
Look,
moon
look,
rocks.
I
we
work
went
for
all
the
way to
government.
the moon,
It's-
got them in the
it's
moon
very-
rocks, and then dumped them
It's
in a
very
bucket of stuff.
accurate that they move shit and they
PBM.
misorganize.
The
and
federal
misclassify.
government
You're
can't
not
fill
gonna-
potholes
he's not
on the
gonna listen.
highway. You think they went to the moon?
He's
Come
not going to
on,
listen,
bro.
and he's going to pull some hypothetical bullshit
I'm
like he
having a
always
big boy
does.
conversation. Big,
And then
big fella,
Gary,
you're not
shut the
capable of
fuck
having
up.
a conversation.
Listen.
All you can do is insult people. We're not interested in what you have to say.
No.
because It's not an argument. Okay?
Insult people.
I'm
You're the
having a
one who
big
says,
boy conversation
I'm
with
surprised you made
PBM.
it to
Okay?
adulthood.
I'm having a big
I'm
boy
surprised you made
conversation
it
with
to
PBM.
adulthood.
You
Gary,
don't
I'm
understand how
thriving in
logic works.
adulthood. What the
Okay?
fuck
I'm
are
not
you
really
doing?
interested in anything you have to say on the topic.
That's
okay?
fine, Gary. I
That's
don't
very
really
good.
give a shit
Very
about you
good,
either,
big fella.
pal.
All right, we're back after the moon landing debate. Probably our 10th moon landing debate in about 2 weeks. Incredible. Mikey Midnight is on hold, but I can't see him. It's just a black screen. So let's test it out. Mikey, are you there?
Hey, you hear me, Jake?
Mikey, why can't we see you?
I see you. I
What
see you.
What did you think of the moon landing debate there? Whose side are you on?
I think Neil Armstrong went to the moon.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think big fella's gonna win sometime all the way.
You think he's gonna beat
'Cause he's a
JJ?
big fella. Yeah, but JJ don't know what he's talking about. Big fella knows what he's talking about.
I agree. Hey, Mikey,
know.
try and call back so we can see you because we want the full Mikey experience. I'll put you right on. Leon writes in, this is what happens when all Jet fans have to talk about is Chikura Okafor. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I was out earlier today, just around the city doing some errands and couldn't believe I ran into Darren Muji at the Dollar Player Store. Dun-dun-dun. God. Mikey might be on the moon right now. That's why the connection's not great. All right, a couple super chats here. Kevin says Gary should be my co-host. I think I'd rather shoot myself in the head. Mikey's Nuts writes in. So does gifting diminish one's impact on the community? That's why I don't know what this is in reference to. It was a while ago before the huge argument. But Mike, I appreciate you, sir. Nick Shine suggests that Big Fella shares family vacation pics. That's one way to compete with JJ. Johnny Boy wrote in, vote for the Big Fella, vote for Johnny Boy. Nick Shine wrote in, nut allergy, so I guess that means Dennis Gorman can't watch Charles Sheets. Nick Shine's missing toe. Gorman's, Nick Shine abandoned me, be careful. I would love to know who's behind the Nick Shine missing toe account. I'm going to guess it's Weed the People, but I don't know for sure. Michael says, I actually met Neil Armstrong in Gettysburg, PA once, and he told me he walked on the moon. Weed writes in, you know it's bad when weed is the voice of reason. All right, now that we're caught up on Super Chats, I got some good news for everybody. Calling back in and standing by with what appears to be crystal clear internet connection is our guy, Mikey Midnight.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jade Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way.
Jake, can
I
you hear
am
me?
so happy. I'm not gonna touch anything.
Mikey,
I promise.
the intro is still playing. Don't touch anything. Oh, you touched
Jake,
something. What
yeah.
happened? What did you do? It was working.
You hear me, Jake?
I
Jake,
hear
can
you,
you hear
Mikey.
me?
Yes.
Let's call back again. Let me call back in.
Call us back. Let's check in with Ryan while we rate. What's up, Ryan? Thanks for the time, Ryan. Let's say hello to Barbarossa. Hey, Barbarossa. Thanks for the time. Is this a bit? Gary, are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here. What's up? Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at my phone.
No, you're
Did
good.
you go-
You're the only one whose camera actually is working right now.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I gotta have to take a break, Jake. After this, I wanted to come in and vote for my boy Charlie. It's no disrespect to you, VMan, but I wanted to get my boy Charlie represented. Didn't turn out well for him, but I gotta think. I wanted to come in here and talk about Rodgers and Fields and make a comparison.
Hold on. Ryan says Jake does not like me. Ryan, I just went to you. You froze. Call back in. I'll get you right on.
I actually had a point. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, no, it's all good. I'm not mad at anyone. The show is awesome. I just can't get this worked up over a moon landing debate.
What's the deal? You don't believe in achievements, though?
Clearly, I don't believe in achievements. No one's ever. I said I'm a Jets fan, a Mets fan, and a Nets fan. Why would I believe in achievement? Why would I do that?
Mario says that you got knocked into early retirement by the big fella.
That's good for Mario.
Leon says Gary is aged 7 years after that argument.
It's straightforward questions, and it's like I need to give you the whole filibuster and soliloquy in one. It's just like just answer the question, please. Like this isn't like multiple choice. It's not essays. It's just yes or no.
I can't believe you're going to vote for JJ over the big fella.
Why is that hard to believe? JJ is, I think, the best caller on the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in with Barbarossa right now. Hey, Barbarossa.
Hey, what's going on?
I don't have it in me to argue.
That's fine. Neither do I, Gary. I hope you
All
had a
right,
good day
cool.
today. I
did until now.
Good.
I wanted to
Jake,
argue about
my
Fields
bad.
and Rodgers. Yeah.
Yeah, my bad about that, Jake, and Asmaniacs. But I wanted to just say a couple of things.
Did the moon landing happen, Barbarossa?
In my opinion, it did, but Gary doesn't need to respond to that. That's okay, right? It's okay. Okay, I appreciate you, Gary. But
if you're calm,
quick follow up.
The
Do you
evidence is
believe in
sufficient, that's
achievement,
cool.
Barbarossa?
Yeah.
Most certainly, I achieve every day of my life. I wake up and I piss excellence. Cheers
Yeah.
to everybody.
Well
I
said.
did see Rider on the Storm. I did see the Mars on Greenland video, and Riders on the Storm is a great song, by the way. So that's 2 for 2 for you, Rider on the Storm. Mars on Greenland. Yeah.
I wanted to just say, I feel like with that, like we talked about a little earlier, the comment Aaron Glenn, we're ready to win now. If he doesn't pick a weapon, then we know he's full of shit. And might not be as happy with that. Like, if he's not picking someone who's going to really help Fields and catch the ball, then I think we'll know that he is not ready. He doesn't want to win now. Not that I would be upset with an offensive lineman.
Let me push back on that real quick. Like,
is
I
the
would
moon
take
landing
Warren.
real?
I would take Warren possibly. Like, what if you just don't think any of the weapons are that good, and I can get a comparable weapon at 42? Like, what if I look at Ted McMillan and I go,
Yeah.
he's all right. Like, he's just I
Yeah.
don't want to take him at 7. Like, it's a lot for 7.
Agree. I agree.
Hey, Barbarossa, let's show off what you sent me in an email finally.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to ask about that, dude. I was just going to ask. You got him? Thank you.
So
Awesome.
a couple weeks ago, Barbarossa said that he was going to a Jets game, and he was wearing a Sauce Gardner jersey. He was going to the Islander versus Winnipeg Jets game with his, as Charles
Wife.
Corbin would say, lovely wife.
Lovely lady. Yeah.
And here they were at the game, rocking the Jets gear in support of the New York Jets at the Winnipeg.
Bro, that's your lady?
Well, go back. Yeah. Why?
How did you get her? How did you do that?
We met on Bumble. She's wonderful. She's great. But yeah, we met on Bumble.
I thought you guys met in the space program at NASA.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the fake story. That's the cover up for everything. We can't tell that to everybody, but yeah, so we did meet on Bumble. We met like 2 days after Christmas. I snuck out of a family party to go meet her.
And how did you meet these two people on Bumble?
We're all just Jets fans. I literally took a walk around the arena at the intermission. I was like, I'm finding Jets fans. And it took
Oh no. Barbarossa, what happened? No.
I wanted to comment on Jets Johnny comment that I believe anything I see on video. No, that's you. You believe that people walked on the moon because someone made a video and said it was the moon. That's you, not me. Like everything in the world is irony now.
Hey,
I don't know if
Barbarossa,
everything's
Leon says that your cheese doodle beard is a lady catcher. Should I grow out my red beard like that? Well, it works for me as
Every
well.
single ginger should have a beard. It's definitely it. You should, Jake. You looked great with the porn stash or the cop stash, whatever you want to call it. So do whatever you want. It'll look good. But yeah, I mean, the cheese doodle. I mean, if that's a compliment, great. Although I think that I would prefer a different adjective. But
I will
whatever.
say cheese doodles are awesome, though, to be fair.
That's fair. I'm not a big cheese doodle guy, but if people like them and that's a compliment, I'll take it. You know, you got to take them where you can get them, right?
I well said. Well, you know what? I feel like you two, you don't maybe see eye to eye on the moon landing, but this ended up being a very productive conversation overall.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
Gary, who killed JFK?
Oh God, here we go. Have you been reading the files, Gary?
I have been. I've changed my mind on this about 5 times in the last 90 days. I've got like heard a lot of interviews.
So you've been really thinking about it.
Yeah, no, I'm really into this. Like I'm into JFK. I don't really have it's like 9/11. I don't believe the official narrative, but every theory I've also heard has a million leaks in it too. Like all the theories suck too. Like I wouldn't, you know, I've changed my mind on that a lot. It wasn't one person who did it. It was a concerted effort. I think LBJ was deeply involved. I think where does this go? Like I think it all points back to LBJ is where it originates from.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you really do like that, I listened to a podcast called The Rest is History, and they did a 7-part one on his assassination. It's with 2 guys that have PhDs in history. One of them did his thesis on LBJ. Like one of them has his it's called The Rest is History.
It's on YouTube, or where do I get it from?
Spotify, and it's free.
The Rest is History.
The
Rest is History.
It's like number 300 something. It's a 7-part about JFK. Any other maniacs like this stuff? That podcast is awesome, and that particular one is so interesting about JFK.
Does he give his?
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? You get to pick the ones who make the show walk.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not gonna touch anything, I promise.
Mikey, stop touching things. When the intro plays, you just stand there.
I'm right here.
Don't
Jake,
do
I'm
anything.
right here.
It works before the
I
intro
know.
plays, and then you touch something. There we go.
I know. Yeah. Hey, I think so. You know what's gonna work on the moon? The New York Jets go walk in the moon when they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, baby. Well, they haven't won the Super Bowl since before the moon landing, I believe. So we're due.
We have Aaron Glenn. It's gonna drive the moon. It's gonna rocket ship right straight up to the moon. And we go at the
Straight up to the moon, baby. Me, you, and Gary hanging out on the moon.
Yeah.
Right, Gary?
You know what I predict? Justin Fish gonna throw 6,500 yards.
Yeah.
And Gary will be the backup quarterback if he gets hurt.
I like Justin Fields. I'm a big. I would have kept Rodgers. You guys know that, but I'm a big Fields fan.
Are you coming with us to the moon, Gary?
If you can get me there, I'm not going to go. It's I don't really.
Hey Gary.
Yeah.
Gary, guess what? The Jets
What's up, Mikey?
Slam Aaron Rodgers, but let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor at MetLife Stadium. We're gonna take out Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, we're gonna take him out, put him in the body bag with the Undertaker, carry him out the show. Yeah, hi Gary.
What, Mikey? What?
I love you, Daddy.
Oh my.
love you, Nanny Gary, you fucking bitch.
You just called me a fucking bitch. Oh my god.
What is going on?
I'm done.
I understand. Just listen to me for 30 seconds.
Give me a fucking bitch.
Okay, so get him out.
I am done. Bye, everybody.
What a moment in time that was, huh? Great call by Mikey. Gator says, can Gary debate the issue without asking questions? No, that's the Gary tactic. Jojo writes in, stick to sports, Gary. Stick to moon landing debates, Gary. I as long as I'm not in them, I find them highly entertaining. A couple great callers left. Ryan, you're next, man. Don't drop out when I go to you, dude. I was trying to get you on for a while.
Sorry, brother.
You're good,
How
man.
are
What's
you?
going on?
Not bad. I just wanted to cheers Barbarossa earlier while he was on. I don't know if he's still on backstage or not.
Barbarossa is not backstage, but
All right.
I'm sure he's listening.
All right. Well, this one's for you and me. Can we do a helmet-to-helmet talk?
Yeah. I'll put on my helmet for you.
Thank you, brother.
Might be hard to hear you a little bit, so hold on. Let me raise the volume. All right, go ahead.
Couple things.
Yep.
I'm very optimistic about this next season with Justin Fields. I know a lot of the guys wanted Aaron Rodgers, and I agree. Statistically, he would give us the best chance, but I'm very excited about this new regime. Love Aaron Glenn, and I'm excited with Justin Fields. So I'm looking forward to a possible playoff season, Jake. I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, I feel great about it if it happens. I have very little faith in this team being a playoff team, but I mean, it could happen. If you tell me what the best case scenario is for the Jets, I think they're a wild card team that make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm going to go wild card, and I'm going to say, who knows what we'll do in the postseason. But I think with the discipline of Glenn's coaching, Justin Fields' upside, all things considered, what we do in the draft, these low budget moves might pay off because I believe in Glenn's scouting skills. And, what we're taking is Walmart, picks and Walmart signings. It might turn into some nice things down the road with the depth, in the O-line, the D-line. I'm optimistic about it, Jake.
Look, I appreciate the optimism, Ryan. I just I got to see it. Like Aaron Glenn might be awesome. He's also a first-time head coach who hired a first-time play caller, and we have a quarterback on his third team in 3 years. So let's see it. Let's see it.
Well, with what he did with the Lions, defense and stuff, I'm believing in his coaching. I'm believing in his, how he relates to the players. I believe he's going to upgrade Sauce Gardner back to his, form his first 2 seasons, and I'm just feeling the new wave. I'm ready for the fresh start, and I'm feeling really good about the next season. I just got to be honest with you.
Gator writes, and I'm going to call him my Jets jockstrap. Are you prepared for that, Ryan?
If he calls in within the next 5 seconds, I'll believe him.
Well, I got some good news for you. I don't have Gator on the line, but I have the guy you shouted out at the beginning of your call. Barbarossa is back.
Hey, I don't have a Jets helmet, so I got my Roman Centurion helmet. I hope that's okay.
That's tremendous.
Yo, cheers, man. Thanks.
Let's go, baby. I'm tapping my helmet. Here we go.
Cheers. There we go.
Cheers, boys. And I just want to give a shout out for the next season, man. I really think we're going to surprise people. I really do, Jake.
Ryan, from your lips to God's ears, nothing will make me happier than a winning season and the Jets in the playoffs.
Yeah, all hail Aaron Glenn.
Coach of the year. I'll be leading the Coach of the Year campaign for Aaron Glenn. If this team's a playoff team, I really will be. Oh, God. All right. On that note, if you want in on the conversation, last chance to do so, although we are certainly winding down. I also want to make sure people are aware of our top 3 raffle prizes because we did our raffle this morning. And Mother Effing Chew, I saw your DM. I will make sure that we send you your prize. If Jorge is out there, he's the only winner I haven't heard from. Jorge, you won a signed Wayne Corbett helmet this morning. So hopefully you contact me and I'll get that sent out to you. We're giving away a signed Darrell Rivas, signed Rex Ryan, and a signed Bart Scott jersey. Our theme is 2010 Jets. More raffle prizes to be announced, the more memberships that we get. Purple Belt Mike. Jake, can you give away a Roman helmet? I would love to. I don't even know where to buy that. Barbarossa, where do I get one of those helmets? Jay says the Jet season will be like watching Gladiator 2. Mike D's Nuts says, Jake, let me call in. Mike, you're always welcome to call in. Go ahead. But right now on the line is one of the all-time greats. He's someone that this fan base, I think, respects. I would say he is someone that this fan base fears. But I would also say he's someone that this fan base loves. How do you do all that? You could do all that if your name is Peter Castro.
The biggest mistake they made is not firing this whole crew of shitheads before the season started. The coaches can't make decisions. They don't correct anything. I mean, this is a joke.
How are you, Peter?
Hey, Jake, how are you? I have a question for Gary.
Oh, God.
All right. Is he on the line?
Of course he is.
Gary,
How's
how are
it
you?
going, sir?
I have a question for you.
All right. Hopefully, I got an answer for you.
Okay. Do you believe the Jets won the Super Bowl in 1969?
Yeah, 69. Yeah, yes, sir.
What's your proof?
But it's been documented. There's firsthand witnesses. There's firsthand accounts. There's reports.
Well, how do you know the witnesses didn't lie?
They could be, right? So you're asking. They could be lying. It could be a conspiracy. But I think there's enough. I think there's sufficient evidence to conclude that they won the Super Bowl. You're asking me, could it be a lie? Sure, it could be, but I don't think that it is.
He wasn't there.
Well, you weren't there, though.
I wasn't, right? Yeah. So it could be a lie, but I
you-
think there's sufficient evidence to suggest it's not a lie.
You weren't there for the moon landing either.
I was not,
It's okay. So, but one you believe and one you don't.
based on evidence and lack of it. One's based on evidence and one's based on a lack of evidence. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How about the JFK assassination?
I hate doing this. Do I believe that JFK was assassinated? Yeah, I believe he was assassinated. Do I believe the official narrative? No, I don't believe the official narrative.
You do believe there was more than one shooter?
I think there were multiple shooters, and I think there were multiple people who planned it for a long time.
So our government lied to us for 62 years.
Yes, I think they've lied to us for a lot longer than that, but yeah, 62 years, yeah.
Okay. That's all I wanted to ask you, Gary. So
All right,
there's a couple of different perspectives, but I mean, you could also say you weren't here for the Jet game, but you believe that they won, but you weren't here for the moon. You weren't here for the moon landing either, but you think that they didn't really do that.
Right. I mean, it's like any trial. You go to trial, some people are telling the truth and some people are lying. You got to look at the evidence and decide who's telling the truth, and who's lying, right? I mean, yeah, can I prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Jets won the Super Bowl? No, I wasn't there. But I can only look at the evidence and suggest that they did.
But it was so easy. It was so easy for you to tell Big Fella that he was wrong.
I'm not telling Big Fella he's wrong. I could be wrong. But give me the evidence that you have that people walked on the moon. I'm glad to look at it.
Give me the evidence you have that the Jets won the Super Bowl.
I just said firsthand accounts. I've talked to people who have been there.
Mm-hmm.
There are still people alive, and there's a chain of history of people who played in that game that are still here, and they've passed it down. There are photographs that are confirmed that that's the Super Bowl, right? Like there's a lot of evidence to support that. There are third-party people who viewed it who had nothing to do with the Super Bowl who confirmed that the Jets won the Super Bowl. Could it all be a big hoax? I suppose in theory it could be, but I think the evidence suggests that it's not.
But the same evidence exists for the moon landing.
I don't think there's the same amount of evidence that the Jets won the Super Bowl that there is for the moon landing. I would disagree with that statement.
Why not? They got rocks. You've seen the film.
Well,
right?
They told me the film was on the moon, which I don't even know how you got the film to the moon. You couldn't get your camera past the X-ray machine up until the 90s, right? You took the camera through an X-ray machine at the airport, and your film was destroyed. They somehow got it through the Van Allen radiation belt without any damage, and then made a phone call from the moon to the president. That doesn't seem on the up and up to me. And like we said, there are shadows that intersect. Shadows don't intersect. Shadows run parallel forever.
So you see doubts in both.
I think there are. I think the evidence for the moon landing is faulty at best.
Faulty at best, but
Yeah.
the Jets, you confirmed, definitely won the Super Bowl.
I wasn't there. I can't say definitely. If I was in a jury, and the
Shadows do intersect.
Shadows do intercept.
not on a natural light, not unless you bring in an outside light, right, like a camera or something. But if you go outside and look at two trees next to each other, they'll run parallel forever. Like they won't intersect. If you brought in a light, if you brought in an alternate light, then they could, which is my point, right? Like that alone says there's another light on the moon besides the sun.
Okay, Gary, I just wanted to give you a couple of different perspectives, which are basically the same.
I get your argument. I wasn't at Super Bowl III. I can't know for sure that it happened, but if I was a juror and someone said, "Do you have enough evidence to convict the Jets of winning Super Bowl III?" I would vote guilty. They won Super Bowl III. If you said, "Do you have enough evidence to convict Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin for walking on the moon?" I'd have to vote not guilty. I'm not going to do the clapping seal part.
What do you mean?
I do want to, but I'm not going to do it because Gator's going to use it out of context, and then it's going to go viral, and then I'm going to have to look at it forever.
Peter, I think you got his ass there. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. I had to do it for Big Fella. He's my buddy.
Big Fella's great. Are you voting for Big Fella over JJ?
Yes.
I see. Now, looking at the round of 32, Peter, let's take a little look here because it gets underway tomorrow.
Okay.
We have Gorman in action against Johnny Boy, then JJ and Big Fella, Aurora and King Lowski, Mike D's Nuts, and Dave Briga. Which matchup's your favorite?
Let me see. I like King Losey.
How do you feel about all the Dave Briga love, by the way? Another OG.
I love it. He's doing a good job, Jay. You know, he did a good job. He beat out the Big Mouth, the Beast Breaker. And what else did he do? Oh, he's been getting these guys to go to work, which is a great idea.
Do you have confidence that Dave Briga could single-handedly inspire Chiefs fan Bobby Midnight, Charles Gorman to get jobs?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope somebody can inspire them. Don't you think it's about time they went out and worked and got jobs?
I think so. Well, did you see Bobby dance earlier? That was pretty good.
He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He belongs in Studio 54 under one of those spinning, what do you call those things?
A disco ball?
A disco ball.
I think you're onto something, Peter. Well, I'll tell you
me
what.
too.
I'm excited to see how you do in this tournament because I still think you are a dark horse contender. You know, we get to your matchup in probably by like the end of next week. We'll be ready. Actually, probably beginning of next week, middle of next week, even. Nate and you going at it, the 5-4. That is a good battle.
It sure is. See what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Peter Castro. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, almost time to wrap up our show. But on the line right now, it's one of the greats. He's got a real tough task. He's got to go up against the hottest 15 seed we've ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome the D's Nuts.
D's Nuts.
What's up, Jake?
Mike, how are you?
I'm great as always, brother.
What did you think of the moon landing debate? Do you have a take one side or the other?
I just wanted to clarify my super chat about the whole gifting thing. You know, Gary made a whole comment about Big Fella with the whole welfare thing. You know, you got people who they like to gift. Some people like to make takes. Some of them are dog shit, you know, but you know, they make their takes. But you got people like Big Fella, Mimosa, some of the greats that like to give back to the community. You can't really take away from that. That's their way to contribute to this whole Jets community. So that was my whole take on it. And it kind of pissed me off because some people are generous and they like to give back like that. You can't really diminish that shit like that, man. I mean, you spending your hard-earned money to give back to the community, which, you know, I think is a great thing. I think we need more of that, you know.
Amen.
So
well, it helps this channel, Mike. I wouldn't be able to do this full time without super chats and gifted memberships and events and everyone who comes out and buys merch. You know, it's I'm an employee of one at Asmaniac Media Corp. So it's people like you make it all possible.
yeah, exactly. Like, you know, some people are more well known for their calls and their takes and their personalities. You know, others are known for being behind the scenes and they like to gift and, you know, give back to the community and, you know, whatever have you. But you really can't diminish that. I mean, that's an important part of this whole fabric of what we have going on right now. So And I'm not one to be arguing with people or into the drama and all that bullshit. This is not my thing. That's not me. I'm more in the background. I agree with probably 95% of what you say, so that's why I don't really have a ton of Jets takes, because I agree with a lot of what you say. So I'm like in lockstep with you. So I'm not going to come on here and try to make takes and regurgitate and repeat what you say, but what I like to do is if I can give back and give some people a membership and they can be more part of the community and we get more people here and grow this thing, then I'm all for it,
Amen. I love it, Mike. Now, looking ahead, I mean, how you feeling going up against Dave Brigger?
Oh, I'm getting smoked. I'm getting smoked. Listen, if I lose to Dave, it is what it is, man. I love that guy. He's a really good dude. It is what it is, man. I'm so happy to even being in this thing, and I won my first round. And Barbarossa is an awesome dude. I'd love to have a beer with him. You know what I mean? He's an awesome guy. If I lose, I lose. It is what it is. This is just a ball to even be a part of. That's all.
That's the right take, Mike. Because some people, I won't name any names, have taken this thing very, very seriously, like it's life or death.
Yeah, it's not. It's not, man. It's all fun. It's all like this is just to get us through this, part of the off season when we're waiting for the draft and whatnot. It's just fun. It is what it is. Like I love it.
Barbarossa wrote in, no doubt, Mike, and gave you a cheers emoji with 2 beers.
Love you, brother.
I love it. Have you come around on Beastbreaker at all since he's gotten better internet?
Man, listen, I don't even want to get into the Beastbreaker thing, Jake. You know where I stand.
I'm just wondering if it's changed at all.
No.
No, it's still anti-Beast.
No, it's not.
I thought
changed,
he did a
no.
good job today reffing the Gary Big Fella fight. He put them in their corners. We hit the bell.
I will literally go upstairs when Beastbreaker comes on. I can't watch it.
Wow. Damn. I think eventually he'll win you over, Mike. I have faith.
He can't win me over. There's nothing he can do to win me over.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Really?
I can't do it. I can't do it, man.
Wow. I still think there's some good in Beast for you. I'm telling you.
Nah, it doesn't work for me, man. It's all good, though, man. He brings some qualities to the show, and I know a lot of people like him, but he's just not my cup of tea.
I'll tell you what, you inspired Rick Kent to get 5 channel memberships with your presence, Mike. Job well done.
And I love Rick. And Rick, I love you, man. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Mike D's Nuts.
Bang! Thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership.
Thank you to Mike, and thank you to Rick. This is for you.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
5 from the Rick Kent. Here we go. If you hear your name called, you thank Rick for gifting you your membership. Jonathan Rentis, Gary Pappy, Zach Asman. How about that? Rick gifted my brother a membership. Slim, all receiving a membership. My brother, by the way, for those of you coming to the Knicks game with us tomorrow night, the 30 Asmaniacs coming together, he'll be joining us. So you'll meet my brother, for those of you who are going to the game. Like Purple Belt Mike, who will be there with his wife. Jake gave away a petrified wood sample as the next giveaway. Hey, Gary, if I gave away a petrified wood sample, would you participate in the raffle?
Only if you tell the Dutch it's a moon rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, Moon Landing Gary, one of the all-time greats.
You said people walked on the moon, correct?
Yeah.
Prove your claim.
It's not my claim, it's history's claim. You're an ignorant person. I was there. I know it went up.
You were on the moon?
Or you just don't believe it.
Give me the evidence that people walked on the moon.
You don't make any sense.
All I'm asking for is evidence.
You don't believe in achievement.
This is irrational. You're acting like I rate.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him One Punch Brigger. The moon landing was free. They call him One Punch Brigger. His claim is not too dirty. Call him One Punch Brigger. He did jokes and wipe his ass. One Punch Brigger. Those who know they need done. Yeah.
I believe in achievement, damn it. Unlike Gary, who doesn't believe in achievement. We might need to make t-shirts with Dave Brigger's mug. I believe in achievement. That and Brigham University shirts. Thank you, Lane, for that one. Man. Rick Kemp believes in achievement. Damn right. If you believe in achievement, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you don't believe in achievement like Gary, find a different show. Yo Holmes says, D's Nuts expires America. Kyle Clifton says, Beast is improved. Yes, still not great. All right. Hey, Beast, you're skyrocketing up the charts, though. I think you got to take that as a compliment. You know, Kyle was very anti you.
The referee skills were actually really good. I had to separate them because they're getting out of hand. You know, when you tell the guys, hey, get out of the corner. I tell you to break when I tell you. When I tell you to break, you break. If you don't break on 5, disqualification.
I thought you handled that well. Your experience was on full display there in that situation.
Well, I had to step in because when you get out of hand and you're in the corner, I have to break you up. That's part of the rules in boxing. If you don't break on 5, it's an automatic disqualification and it's an automatic win for the person. That's the way the world works. If you don't like the rules, hey, go to the next channel. You know, change the channel. Not that difficult. And I like that Brigga quote. Get the t-shirt ready. Get it ready.
Beast, you believe in achievement, right?
Hey, achievement is what you work hard for. Gary has a lot to learn about achievement. It's just, dude, you got to learn to slow your jets down. You're way off landing. It's like okay, here's you trying to land the plane, but here's you. Brigga's trying to tell you, hey, slow down. You're like an out of control, airplane, and we're trying to tell you, Gary, land the plane. Please land the plane. You have customers on that flight. Land the plane, please, or you will lose your job.
I will. And my wife's a flight attendant, so I want to make sure the planes land safely.
Okay. Now that we've got that figured out, now the next thing to figure out, this talent that we lost. Coughlin to the Chargers, bad move.
How about Zerline? What do you think of Zerline? Greg the leg.
Out. I don't want him. You don't want him. I don't want him. Nobody wants him.
Send him to the moon.
After watching Greg Zerline, do you still believe in achievement?
Hey, the Patriots can take them. They're cheap. They're 10%. Hey, unlike us, we're high pitch quality. See, we're big talent. We're big money. Woody Johnson has them big checks, and when he hands them checks out, it's called when you come to work, you come to work. And this is what we want. We want young talent. We're not the bums here.
Beast, tell us about the real people of Japan.
Japan is known for a lot of great things: wrestling, PlayStation, Nintendo. And who do you think gave us PlayStation? Who do you think gave us Nintendo? Who do you think gave us great wrestling? Who do you think gives us all this good quality of anime? Like Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Budokai, and all this other crazy stuff that we get out of Japan. Japan is known for a lot of great things. You just got to take a look around. I got some stuff from Japan that you can't even find. For example, I got that Beast in Black Power of the Beast album, which I ordered for $33 from Tokyo. Not easy to get. Half the stuff that I get is hard to beat. And I'm going to tell you from experience. See, all you got to do is pay attention. If you don't pay attention, you're either shoveling shit upstream or you're lost without a paddle. One or the other. It's called pick your poison. You can't pick your poison, then what do I tell you?
Hey,
I
Beast.
don't know what to tell you.
Speaking of poison.
Would you silence or should I do one of these?
That's poisonous right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Beastbreaker. This could have been a bounty, but I'm just seeing it now. The timing's impeccable. Cincinnati Matt, a 10 spot. As we're winding down the show, 10 memberships have just been gifted. Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches. A chance to win a Darrelle Revis helmet. Who, not to poke fun of Cincinnati Matt's team, one of Revis's great moments was shutting down Chad Johnson during that 09 season. But our theme is 2010 Jets. Could really be 09 as well for these first 3 that I have here. Sign Rex Ryan helmet as well with the Revis one and Bart Scott. More memberships we get this week, I'll tell you about the other prizes I have in store for next week's raffle. These, though, are from Cincy, Venom AD, Steven NYC, Flight Boss. Flight Boss, you got to call back in, man. That one call you had over the summer was memorable. Deroyd, FR Kazuzi, Blackbeard Travel TV, The Power, Java G, Big Will, all receiving channel memberships. Love it. Love it. Appreciate the support from the audience today. I mean, Mimosa gifted 50 earlier, which is unreal. Jeffrey says, Bart Scott jersey fire. I was talking to Bart a little bit yesterday because him and Carlin were both in the studio when I was there filling in for Michael K. I've been trying to find a time to get Bart on this show, but it's very tough with the schedules. It will happen, though. I'm going to try and hopefully get it done before the draft. John LG says, Revis was a Patriot. Yeah, I mean, that's not us as fans' fault. The Jets never should have traded him. Replaced him with D. Milner. How'd that go? Cincy Matt says, never a bounty against the beast. I love it. Our guy JR Jet checks in. What's up, JR? It was great to meet JR at the Texans game. You can see that selfie we took right off the NJ Transit going back to Penn. He writes, and I just got out of work, so I'm going to replay the video, but I'll see you tomorrow night at the Garden. Go Knicks. Yes, JR will be there. We got a who's who of Asmaniacs coming out tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to it. Originally, we were supposed to do a pregame shoot-around, but because the Rangers are playing tomorrow and it's a doubleheader, it was canceled, so we're doing a post-game group photo on the court after the Knicks hopefully win and end this losing streak and get back on track. So if anyone's in the New York area, though, if you're not going to the game, but you want to hang out, we will be right next to the Garden tomorrow at a cool spot called Bourbon and Branch. Literally right outside the Garden. Bourbon and Branch. We'll be there around 6:15. So if you want to hang out with the group, you're more than welcome to. Cincy Matt says, if I win the Revis jersey, I'm burning it on the air in honor of Ocho. Fair. Fair. Jay says, Beast is a BJF copycat mic. Yeah, I mean, he's using the BGF mic. John says, put a list in the Discord for tomorrow night. I could do that, John. Also, you're on the email I sent to everyone, so you can see the people's emails on there. Tom says, Sam Rosenay tomorrow at the Oh, that's why the Knicks are playing at 8, because there could be a whole pregame festive. That makes sense. I didn't realize that was tomorrow. Big fella writes in, Jake, tell Indy Jet that I will be able to go to the draft party. Don't kill me if we draft Dart. Wow, are you kidding me? We're going to get Big Fella at the draft party?
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Buy your tickets, folks. Big Fella will be in the house. Forget Dart. How about Dixon Hole, Big Fella?
The 27th pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select Dixon Hole out of Arizona State. What am I, a mind reader?
That's big time getting Big Fella there. If they take Jackson Dart, though, at 7, that's going to be tough. Ladies and gentlemen, to react to the news that Big Fella's coming to the draft party, Indy Jets is called in at the buzzer here. Hello, Indy. See, he called in so quick, his internet is still spinning. Indy. 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 Beast, what happened to Indy? Yeah, I don't know either, man. It's crazy. All right. So, Gary, you're in on petrified wood samples, by the way? Yes? Cool. Thank you. Indy, are you there? I'm just stalling right now. Come on, Indy. No? All right. You know, in radio, they call this stretching because I'm trying to give Indy a chance to call in and get his internet connection. So I'm thinking to myself, What can I do to stretch? Well, I could play this.
Shame I never got to see Wayne Corbett play. Unfortunately, my Wayne Corbett was Wes Welker, who I think was a great receiver.
He's a Patriot, though. Oof.
I know, and a Bronco, and a Dolphin, and a Charger.
Okay.
But he was great, though. I mean, he and Brady, I know it's going to piss off a lot of Jet fans, but...
Do you want to support an Asmaniac that is a self-admitted Patriots fan? Please consider casting your vote for an Asmaniac with high moral character that is definitely not a Patriots fan.
This ad was paid for by Asmaniacs for Johnny Boy.
He's on fire!
Round of 32 begins tomorrow. We have Johnny Boy trying to upset the number 1 overall seed, Charles Eugene M. Gorman. Dun, dun, dun. Ladies and gentlemen, Indy Jets is called back in. Will it work? Indy, are you there? Indy, thank you for the time. I guarantee you the internet in Australia is way better than wherever Indy is. Craig is down under. He will close tonight. Hello, Craig.
Mate, we've actually got great internet. Can you believe it? Considering
everything about Australia just sounds wonderful. Other than how far away it is from where I live, I can't wait to go someday.
Look, you know it's going to happen because the NFL is going to play 3 years in a row here. So there's a legitimate chance the Jets will come here, and if that happens,
we're doing it.
Have to come. Just there's no. If I have to fly over to NYC and pick you up myself, I will. And besides, we have Neil, who is a private jet broker.
Yeah, he'll charter us a plane all the way from New York to Australia.
I think he would do that, gratis. I'm sure of it.
Yeah,
we're all good blokes and all that. I have to thank you for taking a photo of my house on 46th Street.
Hey, you like that? The back, you knew the back entrance too. I was impressed. You're like, he's on. I didn't even. So I sent Craig a picture yesterday as I walked by the hotel that he calls home that he always stays at when he's in New York, and he goes, the back entrance on 46th Street. Meanwhile, I didn't even know it was on 46th Street. I was just stunned that you knew it was the back entrance. Like you
didn't know there was a front entrance. No, it was brilliant. I love Manhattan, as you know, and I love knowing where everything is and where to go and stuff. Now, quick question: Mrs. Craig is quite desperate to go to the basketball when we're there, and she thinks it might be the playoffs while we're there. Is that true?
You're going to be. You're there in May.
Yeah, early May.
Yeah, there's a good chance. I mean, it's probably still the first round, if not the second round. Yeah, I mean, there is a very good chance that while you're in New York, the Knicks are in the playoffs playing a home game.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to tap your wisdom for the best way to get tickets and stuff.
Win the lottery. That'd be my piece of advice. God, Knicks tickets in the playoffs are just so expensive. It's a great experience though, especially if you've obviously never been. But Knicks tickets are more expensive than probably any ticket in this town when it's playoff time.
Yeah, well, we spend an egregious amount of money to go to MetLife Stadium, believe it or not. Simply because it's like the rare chance we get to go there.
Yep.
So
it's an experience. Yep.
Yeah. Look, we just want to get the most out of it, and so no, we're open to it. And I've never actually been inside MSG ever for any reason. So it would have the lot. But looking forward to doing it. And it's next Thursday will be 4 weeks and counting before I hit the sky with EB for LA, and we have lunch with Rick Kent, and we go to the baseball with Addy, and then drive to Vegas and cause absolute chaos. I found out in Vegas that not only can you go shooting, you can go shooting out the door of a flying helicopter. I just found this out, and I said to Luke, you realize we have to do this. This has to happen.
That sounds awesome. So, I didn't even realize you could do that, but that's pretty sick.
I actually probably shouldn't be surprised, to be honest. This is America.
It is America. That's what we do.
We don't have shit like this in Australia. In fact, we have an expression here called "only in America." Basically, it's just how it is. And to answer Rick Kent, I'll be there all day, mate, from 6 a.m. into the evening on Thursday, the 24th of April. That is the day. And the reason we're flying into LA and staying is to meet our Asmaniac friends. That is the reason.
Let's go.
That is the reason.
I can't wait, Craig. It's gonna be here before we know it.
I know, man. And it'll be over before we know it, and I'll be sad. And then I'll be waiting for the schedule to plan September with all the kids. So the whole Aussie family is going to invade, and they're keen to meet everyone. I can't wait. It's going to be mental. So lots of love to everyone, and I can't wait to call in next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Craig down in Australia. Hit the Craig emoji. How about this? Oscar the Grouch was so inspired by Craig being on the screen that not only did he send in an Asmaniac super chat, but then he just gifted 5 to be entered in the next Asmaniac raffle. Let's go, baby.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
These are from Oscar the Grouch, Travis Preheim, LX Jet Fan, Flex Plexigo, Mach 1, Adrian Flores, all receiving memberships there from the Oscar the Grouch. All right, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to hope it works. Indy Jets, last chance, my man. Your reaction to Big Fella coming to the draft party. Doesn't it say it all? Doesn't it say it all? Indy Jets.
I just got home, so I finally got some good internet connection.
I'll believe it when I see it.
All right, do we have connection now?
Indy, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I finally got some good internet connection. I'm home. I'm connected to my Wi-Fi now.
All right. Well, your reaction to Big Fella announcing that he is coming to the draft party.
So the speed limit going through my housing edition is 25, and the internet connection is terrible through here. So I'm literally going 45 mile an hour, maybe 50, just to get home to get connected to the Wi-Fi to say hell fucking yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, a fired up Indy Jets ready to party with the Big Fella.
Yeah, Big Fella,
And here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
You know, and JJ's coming, right? I assume that if Big Fella's coming, that means JJ's coming. So all I got to do is find a 4th person to sit at that table who is going to complement those personalities. So Jake, you know, other than Charles, because I'm bringing a pack of Charmin because I want Charles. I need Charles to autograph a package of Charmin for me. That's all I need. But yeah, but Big Fella there, appreciate it. We're going to have a seat there. As soon as we get off here, I'm going to get the table reserved. And, you know, hopefully JJ will come. And Jake, you can help me with the 4th partner there at the table.
We'll make it happen. We got a bunch of people coming, so that shouldn't be hard to fill. If you do have a group, though, he's right about the table. So we have a limited amount of table seating available. It's about 70 a person if you split it either 4 or 5. The way it works is you'll see it on the website to get your tickets. You get your complimentary drink included, and $100 of the reservation for the table goes towards your $200 minimum food and beverage spend that night. So the table is actually only $350, but it's $450 listed because your tab already has $100 on it, and then you only have to spend another 100 while you're there, if that makes sense. But you get a guaranteed spot. Now, there are seats for people who are doing general admission. You're just not guaranteed a seat, right? It's a big venue, but if you have like a big group, like you'll see, like there's only X amount of tables. So we got plenty of room. But if you want like a guaranteed seat with your crew, I recommend reserving a table. We don't have a ton of them. That's why it's important to do it now. Dave Brigger writes in, I don't like driving in New York City, so I might bus in. We got to get Dave Brigger a limo. Barbarossa says, I also would like to go. We'll see what the wife wants. Look, Barbarossa, we need you and your wife there. All right? Tell your wife that she's now a star in the show. She made her debut today in this photo. You want to, they say the Asmaniac draft party is the best way you could spend a Thursday night. Who's saying that? Me just now, but I'm telling you, it's going to be great. Thunderlips is on the line. Thunderlips Jr., I should say, is on the line. Hello, baby Thunderlips.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
What are you up to?
My dad told me to tell you guys the moon landing's fake.
Really?
Now you owe me McDonald's.
Do you think it's fake? How come? Yeah.
Because I don't know.
It's a pretty good answer. How many times have you been hit in the head like Gary?
So 1, 2, 2.
Twice? It's not bad.
Oh yeah, my dad wants to talk to you now.
I do
Does
not
he?
want to. I don't know. I
No?
don't want to talk to you.
All right. Well, I don't want to talk to you either, Thunderlips.
No,
I'm
I
gonna
didn't
play
mean
this.
Well,
Mania Madness was gonna be the best of them all. You get to choose the ones that rock.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, baby. I'm assuming Thunderlips is drunk on his ass. Thunderlips, am I right? Are you under the influence of alcoholic?
Why would you go back to me?
Well, I just wanted to confirm my theory.
Maybe you
Okay.
can't drink all day if you don't start at 1 o'clock or
That's a good point.
in the morning. But oh my god!
There's Mrs. Thunderlips. And now a black screen.
How did I get back?
Are you with Mikey Midnight now?
Yeah.
All right.
Hands up, baby.
Well, Thunderlips, you have a good time, all right? Thanks for the time. He's gone. That's a show, people. Good thing I started at 4 today. So I got plans tonight. 3 hours and 6 minutes. And I didn't get up to pee once. You find me a host that could do that, by the way. My buddy Mike, who I was with in Houston last week, he's in radio. He's like, I don't understand how you do these shows and don't ever get up and go to the bathroom. I go, I very rarely do. All right, I have a bladder of champions, folks. Anyway, that ends the show. But I think there's a super. Nope, Jets Johnny super chat. Vote for a true Jet fan. Vote Johnny Boy. F Brady and the Patriots. I agree. Ryan checks in with another super chat. I missed this. Shout out to Rich Boomtown, Bill M, Philly Noodles, Bo C. Great list. All right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to Ryan, who wrote in, or who joined the show earlier. Dave Brigas says, "Don't destroy your bladder, Jake." Don't worry, Dave. I pee when I pee. You guys didn't know this, but I peed in about 7 of these cups during the show today. That's how smooth I am. Psych. Or am I? That's the next move for Gorman, by the way. You know he's going to try and pee on the air on the Bobby show. See if Bobby has a spine and actually holds him accountable. Anyway, I'm back to tomorrow. Projected start time is 11 a.m. Eastern for the round of 32. Gorman, Johnny Boy, our opening matchup in the Chicken Soup region, round of 32. Get set for that. What's better than that, folks? All right, before we get out of here, let's officially end the opening round of 64. I don't think anyone's surprised by this result, but it is, in fact, VMan coming through with a dominant victory over Charlie the Dog Groomer. 552 total votes, 79% of them going to VMan, and we don't get the decimal points, so the final score is 79-20. Congrats to VMan. Charlie the Dog Groomer, you fought hard, man. You fought hard. Just making the tournament is an honor and a privilege. That ends the first round, which is exciting. That means we're on to the round of 32. Can you believe it? We made it. I told you about the first matchup tomorrow. Here's a look at the overall bracket before we wrap so everyone can visualize it. Here's what it looks like as we move on to the next round. Gorman versus Johnny Boy. JJ versus Big Fella. Aurora versus King Lowski. D's Nuts versus Brigger. Hood Region. Cheats Fan versus Weed the People. Nate Nate versus Peter Castro. Leany versus Neil. PBM versus David T. Butter Region. Bobby Midnight versus J Quest. Mikey Midnight versus Ricky NY. Craig from Australia versus Jets Johnny. The Hamburger versus Gary. Train Region. Lane Train versus Rick Kent. Jay Graves versus Kyle Clifton. Chef Kevin versus Mr. Bonesy. And Doug on the Couch versus VMan. Your official round of 32 matchup. Thank you all for watching. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Tune into the show tomorrow and likely on Sunday as well. I don't know the start time for that. It's either going to be before I do 4 hours on Mad Dog Radio on Sirius or after. So check the Discord for updates there. Again, thank you all. You guys are the best. Go Jets, everyone. Maybe one day they won't suck.